Hello, I am the... Take two. Hello, I am the Ronan Pawn, and welcome to a twitch.tv/Ronan Pawn live stream on twitch.tv/Ronan Pawn. Are we live this time? Last time we weren't actually live. At least not on Twitch. We were live on YouTube, but we weren't live on Twitch. Are we live, and is the audio holding together, and all the other problems we've been having lately? No, I haven't checked out Stage 9 VR yet, GP Twitch. GP Switch. Ronan Pawn. Vive Pro has been launched, compatible with the base stations and controllers you already have. Integrated hi-fi headphones with built-in amplifier, much lighter and more balanced than the original Vive. Also, a new wireless adapter by Valve themselves, optimized for low latency, works with both Vive and Vive Pro. Also, you're live, yes, there's no... Oh, good! Oh, good. Thank you for being a pitchman for Vive. Are they paying you much? That's cool. I didn't know. You know, we talked about that, you know, there's supposed to be a new one coming out soon, and okay. Now it's out. God, I'm burpy today. How are you? How you guys feeling? Are you burpy? Because I'm burpy, and usually if I'm burpy, then everyone's burpy, right? That's how it goes, right? If I have chronic fatigue, we all have chronic fatigue, right? That's how the universe just works, isn't it? No? Did you get a W on going live on YouTube? A W? A win? A W for win? Because we did it and it worked? Chat's broken, says Pi over Discord. Why is chat broken? I'm so buying this. No, it's showing up. As far as I can see, it's showing up. What, 14th Doctor? Ronan Pawn? What? What do you want, 14th Doctor? Noah Craw, Jonathan Laban, GP Twitch, It's a Secret to Every Pony. They've all figured out how chat works. What's the problem with chat not working? I see you shouting at me on Discord. Can I be bothered? I don't know. Can I? Chat isn't broken, says Noah Craw. I was broken. I'm here late, okay? I am here late, and there is a legitimate reason for me being late. I forgot that we do live streams on Monday. I didn't forget we do live streams on Monday. I forgot that time continues to move regardless of what I'm doing. Son of a bitch, isn't it? Chat is 100% broken, says... No microphone. No microphone. XSplit crashed. XSplit crashed, and then because it crashed, it didn't save the fact that I had turned my microphone on and I forgot to hit the button and I didn't look at it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I only need to go to 5 because I did a lot of years of Zen. I don't have to count to 10. 5 is enough for me. Fuck you! XSplit, with your crashing. Not saving my settings when you it just crashed. It's been doing this. It's been crashing during my testing, and I don't understand. There's no reason for it. We got our CPU usage is fine. Average 70% on the CPU. It's just You're making me like think about OBS again. I don't want to do that either because I've really, you know, there's a lot of things in XSplit that I've gotten used to. I don't want to have to relearn OBS. It's been years now, maybe 1. No, it's been 2. It's been 2 years. Well, it's been over a year because I did have to rebuy the license for XSplit. How are you today? Have you had to count to 10 today yet? I only have to do so during live streams because all of my technology that I've taken so much time putting together and making sure works stops working and falls apart. Probably want to move the microphone somewhere near your mouth. How you guys doing today? You feeling good? The pop-up chat doesn't work, says GP Twitch. Oh, is Twitch's pop-out chat window isn't happening for you or something like that? Because Okay, first off, we had issues with Twitch last live stream where it just wasn't working, and I couldn't even get my own live streaming key out of it in order to try and force it to work. So that was happening. Today, I was not able to join any communities that I tried to, when you live stream on Twitch, you can join 3 communities. I usually live stream in chill streams, for one, and then, 2 others related to the game. And I was looking for the American Truck Simulator stuff because that's what I've loaded up in the background, as you can see. That's not American Truck Simulator, but that's what I've loaded up. So I tried to, and the communities list isn't working at all. It wouldn't function. So I think Twitch is like really screwed up. Hi Pawn, all good this end, says Archiroshi. Good. Looney700 says, Pawn, it's you. Yeah, it is me. I'm a lightning rod for shit going tits up. Blame the 138,000 people watching AGDQ, which is the Agamemnon Dairy Queen conglomerate. They just got together. They're putting out religiously themed, dessert treats. Is Agamemnon a religious figure? Because I really don't know. It's just a weird, funny sounding name I put up in the storage bins in the computer up here for a day that it might be helpful. Why is technology so effing hard to figure out? Says GP's Twitch. Why is technology just not works? Is another thing. I would love it if technology would just work, I've figured it out. Christ, I've been doing this for a very long time. How about just the programs don't randomly crash on you? How about Windows doesn't do like 9 out of 10 of the things that it does these days? Used to be. Don't start, Pawn. Awesome game is done quick. Oh, is it that? Well, I'll make a game then. Screw this. I'll make a game. I'll make a game and then we'll be on the big list. Everybody will be watching. They'll love it. Let's see. Something involving my penis, because that's really all I've got prepared right now, It's ready, most of the time. I'd rather he play Duskers to Snowcrawl. I heard that. That's a very brainy, thoughty game, isn't it, to try and do a live stream on? It's not making games, it's speedrunning games. Oh, Agamemnon done quick, right. Alright, well then we'll speedrun a game. Look, we're already halfway to the end. And there we finished. The game was getting to about a third of the beer left in the thing. I win. I win. Does this cheer work, says Mage Lord Exelbirth. It works enough. The sound is offbeat, but I can't fix that, as far as I can tell. Rumpon. Agamemnon is a Mycenaean king, aka very old Greek person, who is mentioned in many Greek stories. Hashtag archaeology student, says Milkshake Deluxe. Ah, well, okay, now I know, and that doesn't help my comedy. Who should I use then next time I'm looking for? George Carlin? That's another way to go. Game's done quick. G, there's a G and there's a C in there. I could go with that. It's Agamemnon or George Carlin, one or the other. Pawn, what are we playing, says GP Twitch? It's back there. We're playing me reading something I wrote today. Because I want to, and some people have actually shown interest on, Discord. You guys have been saying, Pawn, I got an idea. Somebody said, was it Later who came up with the idea, or was it someone else, and then Later chimed in? Pawn, what do you think of, reading other people's fictional works against all of the copyright laws in the universe? And I said, I'm not sure about that. But, you pitched that idea, and the thing is, the reason why I'm late to the live stream today is that I have spent the last however many hours are between 6:30 a.m. and now writing what I consider to be a screenplay / not screenplay. Mage Lord Exelbirth cheering, where'd it go? Yep, chill streams full of raging at Twitch, YouTube, politics, mechanics, or whatever game you happen to be playing. Chill, says Mage Lord Exelbirth. Chill, that's what we do around here. Rage chill is what we call it. Mpipani? No, I'm too lazy to be as active as Indiana Jones. I got a hat like him, if that counts. What language was that, Milkshake? Mpipani? You want to play Monopoly? I don't have that. I don't think anybody wants to play that game. Pawn, read off To Be the Wizard, please. To Be the Wizard. I wanna be the very best, like no whiz ever was. Whiz was, that's fun. I just wanted him to record audiobooks, especially for me, says Hologram1. That's a good idea, Donate enough today. No, I spent the whole friggin' day writing this thing, and I thought I would treat myself, and not you, because you want to watch games. I would treat myself to reading this screenplay slash... The thing is, I started writing it as a screenplay, and then I got to a certain point where I was like, this is going to be... I'm a better writer as a novel kind of thing, so I open it as like a novel, as a book, and then it kind of converts itself into a screenplay. I think that actually works for like what you would send to somebody if you're trying to sell it. Jesus, the cheers are coming in. Anders2141 cheering 10. Going back to your comment about technology, technology is only as reliable as the person making it for the person using it, i.e. you. Yes, except for I'm not the person making it anymore. I should probably just start making it. I should really start making everything. You know, that's the only way that we're going to get to a sustainable, you know, world. Cheer 10, going back to your comment about technology, oh, that you said it twice. You gave me 10 cheers twice, and I bet you didn't mean to, and thank you very much. I made snacks for this, it better be good, says GB. So she always got snacks on hand, man. I need to eat more during the live streams. And then maybe I could get a sponsorship deal with somebody, and then I'll be eating their stuff, and then it'll be like, yeah, see, now other people want to eat your stuff. I'll make them hungry. Taco Bell, I don't really... It is actually the fast food place that I still, you know, will occasionally go to. You know, because there's not much meat in their meat, and I'm a vegetarian, so I could just order off the meat menu. Oh no, you and I are much more competent than the crap we're forced to use. To be honest, I don't want to watch games. I'm effing tired and just want to listen. Hologram 1, you're in for a treat then. F5! Oh crap! F5. Remember to F5. There we go. Okay. I am now going to read to you from the screenplay slash whatever I'm calling it thing that I wrote today over the course of the past 7 billion hours. It is tentatively titled, the working title is I Know the Future and You Die. Can I get the microphone any closer? Could we just move the microphone? Charlotte, could you move the microphone in for me a little bit? I think it'd be just good if I'm just like up here and I'm really like on top. No? Lean back? Okay. I'll just lean over a little bit. A woman sits outside a bistro, looking intense. Specifically, she is not nervous. She is suspicious, paranoid, except whatever paranoia is called when they really are coming for you. Something bad is on the way. She knows that. But from what angle? From whom? To be clear, the situation this woman is in most certainly qualifies as distressing, but she is not a damsel therein. As she sits alone at a table that would be empty if not for the tiny vase containing the single flower keeping her, just water thanks, in good company, her eyes scan the other patrons' faces for signs of malice. As she does, she catches an eye or two that quickly dart away as soon as they've met. Is this person a threat to her? That one. Or do they just not care for strange women staring judgingly at them while they take brunch? But the danger is real. From what angle? From whom? She rises from her table, watching the crowd intently, taking special care to keep the most suspicious of those darting eyes in her peripheral vision. As she skirts the table's edge, she slyly palms a large serrated steak knife from a table next to hers. Her shoulders pull back, her chin lowers, her body turns to face the aisle flat. Shit's about to get real. Who is this woman? A man in a trench coat comes into focus at the end of the aisle. His jowls sink down his face as soon as their eyes meet. He frowns intensely and moves quickly towards her, faster with every step. She takes a wider stance, puts one leg back. She grips the knife, distressed, but not a damsel. The frowning man, whose face has twisted into wrinkles on the approach, stops in front of her, 3 inches between them, chest to chest. His jaw falls open as his eyes drift slowly down her neck and to her shoulder. He takes one labored breath, meets her eyes again. Tears well, a single one escaping down his cheek, as he says, embarrassed, "I'm sorry." He buries himself in her, collapsing into a "please just hold me" position, and cries quietly on her shoulder. She stands saying nothing, still watching the crowd, allowing this man to awkwardly hug her. Her eyes are wide. Is she confused? Yes. Is she distracted? No. Whatever this is, there's another shoe here somewhere, and she'll be ready when it drops. She presses her knife against the sobbing man's kidneys for insurance. Her attention evenly divided between the looming threat of the crowd and keeping watch that the fellow gently sobbing into her neck doesn't move in a threatening way. At last, he takes a deep, clearing breath, having cried himself out. He pulls his head slowly back from her shoulder, his eyes half closed, half dreaming, follow to her lips. His head eases, twists gently as he presses into her. Their lips touch. Boom! Glass shatters and silverware pings off sidewalk as the table behind her overturns. The open palm of her right hand hangs in the air where a quick jab to his sternum sent this sobbing Casanova stumbling back. The left grips the steak knife backhanded, ready to Steven Seagal anyone else who fancies coming in close to get a little sugar. The erstwhile sobbing man catches and steadies himself on a nearby table, where sit a justifiably perturbed, well-dressed couple sipping mimosas. His head dangling down, his eyes on the floor. The Casanova speaks. "I'm sorry. It was just really bad this time." His eyes raise to meet hers, puppy dog, sad and apologetic, begging forgiveness. Then he draws a pair of pistols from within his coat and unflinchingly fires into the heads of the well-dressed couple to his left. Simultaneously, the other pistol goes to work, precisely headshotting 4 other patrons of the bistro as seated in an arc from left to right, behind and to either side of our knife-wielding woman. 6 shots. Then everything stops. The woman looks down at her body. No holes. She, along with the remaining bistro patrons he didn't just shoot to death, who have mainly retreated below their tables and behind their chairs, all hold still and silent, unsure of, well, pretty much everything at this point. The sobbing man turned Casanova, now gunman, holds his arms and guns outstretched at the angles of his last shots fired, his eyes, her eyes, locked to one another. He smiles at her, a goofy, teethy, forced smile, as if to say, "Well, isn't this awkward?" Boom! The bistro door kicks open behind him. He looks up and to his right, not toward the door, draws a bead with his right pistol and fires a single round at a rooftop across the street. Pop! Well, left pistol targets a door being pushed open on this side of the street. Pop! The bistro's patrons scatter as the gunman continues firing from his unmoving position at various windows, rooftops, and doorways along the street. Behind him, a confused and frightened but menacing-looking young Hispanic man in a black leather jacket fights to push through the panicked patrons rushing past him at the bistro's entrance. The woman, having given up on making sense of the scene before her, finally snaps to action. She flips the knife she holds in hand, catching it by the blade above her head. She throws it center mass at the gunman's chest. Without missing a beat or indeed a single shot, he shifts his way out of its path, his eyes still focused on a distant target, firing off a final round. The spinning knife sails past him, plunging instead into the neck, just above the clavicle, of a confused and frightened, but menacing-looking Hispanic man who'd pushed through the crowd directly behind the shooter, drawn gun in hand. The woman, distressed but not a damsel, flinches as her knife finds the unintended target, taking half a step forward before catching herself. The gunman, done firing at random roof lines and windows, drops an empty pistol from his right hand, taking a brief moment to breathe, before quickly turning on his heel, kneeling at the menacing Hispanic man, and pulling out the knife. The young man draws a sudden, high-pitched breath of pain as his eyes squeeze tight and his body lunges up, as if to take refuge in his chest. The gunman, perched at the young man's sides, hovers over him, waiting for his eyes to open, waiting for their eyes to meet, silently demanding that the young man look at him. Their eyes lock. The gunman's face flashes anger for a single lost microsecond as he stabs the tip of the knife back into the no longer confused and no longer menacing-looking, very, very frightened young Hispanic man's aorta. The anger gone, he pulls it to the right. "Stop!" yells the woman, still stood in her half-step of regret. The very, very frightened Hispanic man's death is painful and gruesome. The gunman stares into his eyes as he coughs and dies, coldly and without emotion. The woman, for the first time, considers running. I'll pause here because we're about halfway through. What do you think? Am I okay? Is the live stream still working? Because I haven't looked over in a minute. What's going on? Ronin Pawn F5! Oh crap, F5. We gotta save our progress. Someone cheer that the pawn that the mic has stopped working for like 3 minutes just for the trolls. Screw you, Noah. Hello, RMAJ. Pawn, your audio's out. Screw you. I see the levels jumping. You ain't lying to me unless XSplit is lying to me. No, Pawn, says RMAJ. No, don't stop. What? Something fanfic, says Bearsuit Lane. Okay. We're carrying on then. Where did we leave off? I haven't been paying attention. I've been reading. You know, acting. Brilliant, Pawn. That is bloody fantastic. Well, wait, because I might ruin it in the next half. Pawn, how long is this going to take? Precisely as long as it takes. Yes, the woman for the first time considers running. Don't run, he begs, in a voice as innocent and empty of malevolence as a 4-year-old child. Damn you, Angelus. Constructive criticism, you say that she's not nervous, not paranoid, because they really are after her. If they really are after her, wouldn't she be nervous, says Angelus2141. Not nervous. It's an indication to an actress, you know? She's not nervous. She knows something's coming for her. You get me? It started out as a screenplay, and then it started turning into just a story, and then it will turn back into a screenplay. Is there a way we can re-listen this, says Milkshake Deluxe? You indeed can do. I now have... Alright, second half coming in a moment. I now have a third Ronin Pawn channel. Forget about Ronin Pawn Presents. We now have Pawn Live. And I've just, made it a thing recently. And if you want to find any of the VODs that have gone live on Twitch and YouTube, you will find them at Pawn Live. So you'll have to search for it. It's not youtube.com/pawnlive because I can't get a vanity URL until I get a certain number of somethings according to YouTube. But you search for Pawn Live and you will find me there, and you will find the last 3 live streams that we've done, and this one. And this one. Can someone at me when he's done, says GB Switch. Yeah, someone at him when I'm done. The woman, for the first time, considers running. Don't run, he begs in a voice as innocent and empty of malevolence as a 4-year-old child, though meanwhile training the pistol he still holds in his left hand on her as he fishes through an inner pocket of the dead man's leather coat. That won't work. An awkward silence passes as he fumbles in the dead man's pocket. Stuck. Every time, he mumbles to himself. Every friggin' time. He shoots a glance at her, pausing in his efforts, then turns his head back down toward the corpse. I really am sorry about that earlier. The kiss, I mean, and the crying. I don't think I'm sorry for the hug. That was good. I guess I needed it. I just needed it. Half to himself, well, duh, of course you needed it. Good God, look at this. Look at you. Look at her. He stands up from the dead man, having retrieved a small bundle of documents, still training the pistol on her, almost errant-mindedly as he crosses to the reclining corpses of the well-dressed couple, the first to die, at the table next to hers, all the while talking. I mean, hell! Maybe it helped. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. He slaps the documents down on the table where the bodies are slumped, a half-size manila envelope with a photograph paper-clipped to the front. Honestly, in retrospect, I should have just grown a pair and gone for it earlier. He reaches into the dead woman's purse, producing a similar packet. Not that I don't recognize that's kind of sleazy, but come on, given the circumstances, he gestures outwardly. Who's it gonna hurt? Her eyes flit across the scene of carnage before them before meeting his again, her front teeth clenched together as she raises her eyebrows to him. Suddenly he smiles and laughs, genuinely, like a child. Well, that's something else entirely, though, isn't it? He sighs in relief. As though out of habit, he slaps the reclined corpse of the well-dressed woman forward in her seat, her head pounding down onto the table as he moves to her brunch partner. Reaching into the well-dressed dead man's breast pocket, he presents a third identical packet, placing it onto the table, then giving the body a similar tap from behind, producing similar table-shaking results as he walks over to address the woman head-on. Right. So, these people were here to kill you, or at least they would have. It wasn't expressly what they were intending, but you didn't give them much of a choice in the matter, did you? Her eyes finally focus on the photos laid out on the table. Photos of her. I mean, it's not your fault. You didn't do this. They are definitely the bad guys here. And I mean definitely. Definitely the bad... Especially that one. He points to the dead man in leather jacket, now sporting a Colombian necktie sans the tie. Well, maybe that's not fair. Actually, he's just an asshole. He was so much trouble. I'm sorry, but he suddenly becomes aware of himself, still training the gun on her. He brings his arm in, pointing the barrel to the sky. He starts again, sincerely this time. I'm sorry. This isn't how we do this. In one fluid, practiced motion, he releases the gun's clip into his left hand, gently tosses it onto the table amidst the corpses and the documents, racks the slide, popping the unspent bullet from the chamber, catching it in midair, spins the pistol in his right hand, the grip offered to her, the barrel pointed back at him, and proffers the bullet between thumb and forefinger of his left. She approaches, slowly, tentatively, eyes wide, watching his. She carefully takes the gun and bullet, pausing as she places her fingers on the bullet. He smiles that awkward, forced smile again. She takes one large step back, then turns her back to him. He stands there sheepishly, waiting. He bites his lip. Listen, Sarah, I think I fucked up. She spins around, pointing the gun at his head, and pulls the trigger. Click. Yeah, that one tends to jam. Now we get into the part where I've actually got like a whole bunch of lines written. And you can tell I'm better at writing narration than I am lines, aren't I? Sarah speaks first. Who the fuck are you? Right, sorry, Jim, Sarah, nice to meet you. Jim extends his hand. She doesn't. You're crazy. Yeah, that ship sailed. You're going to prison. Never been, in fact, surprisingly. Psych ward? Yes. That was nice, actually. Sarah starts slowly putting distance between them. Suddenly she speaks as though she's on his side. You need to go. The police are coming. They'll catch you. Trying to manipulate him into getting the hell away from her. He steps in and tries to take her hands. She pulls away before he can. Sarah, I think I fucked up. I fucked up. Bad. Sarah looks over his shoulder at the bodies. You think? Jim smiles in genuine amazement and laughs again. Another sigh of relief. Seriously, Sarah, I think there are 2 of them. Sarah is slowly shaking her head, dumbfounded at the madman before her. There are definitely 2 of them, at least. Sarah, speaking slowly, as to a child. 2 of what, psycho? Jim's jaw slackens as his eyes drift off into the middle distance. Oh, shit. Jim reaches into a pocket and pulls out a 2.5-inch by 1-inch capsule-shaped object, holding it longwise by thumb and index finger. He winces and juggles it onto a nearby table. It's clearly hot. Speaking to himself, I forgot. I forgot. I can't believe you forgot. How do you forget this? How do you forget this? He angrily grabs a glass of water from the table and douses the capsule with it. Sarah, eyes widen and suddenly irate, suggests, "What the fuck?" One half of the object is an opaque blue shell, while the other half is a thick, semi-clear plastic exposing some kind of technology within, housing 4 LEDs. One of them is blinking. Jim, frustrated, turns in circles looking at nearby tables. Those that haven't already been overturned by the fleeing victims of recent events, anyway. "Yeah, sorry." Jim is suddenly glib with Sarah. He lets out a whimper of desperation as he folds over himself and clutches his head in his hands. He's nearly crying. "God, everything is upside down today." He breathes deep, the tears audible in the sound of his breath, and starts repeating to himself over and over, "What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing?" As Sarah watches, she's looking at Jim, a mad gunman who just finished mowing down half a block of people, who crescendoed the performance with a near decapitation, and who is only now, apparently, in the process of losing whatever portion of his shit someone might argue he had hitherto retained. But Sarah is not just looking at Jim. Sarah is also looking at the capsule. On one hand, this is the best opportunity she's likely to have at getting away from said madman. On the other, the capsule. As Sarah internally weighs the competing meritoriousness of two life-risking actions, Jim's mantra slowly becomes less frantic and tearful. His hands relocate from head to knees as he regains his composure. "Choice time, Sarah. Now or never. The capsule or retreat." Too late! Jim pops back upright, looking maybe a little too content all of a sudden, wipes his nose, sniffs the remnants of his tears away. He takes one big, goofy step forward, grabs a flower pot from the table on which the capsule lies, pops the uncomfortably large plastic device into his mouth. "Stop! Do not!" and swallows hard as he pulls a swig of chlorophyll from the pot. Chlorophyll from the pot. That's all I got. That's it. Somebody at GP Switch. We're done. F5! Save the performance. So this man has a psychosis. It's quite interesting to hear, says Hologram One. "I know the future, and you die," is the name of it. This is really good, says Hologram. Thank you. I'm happy with it, I guess. The Fox is RMAG. That's where I got to. Somebody at GP Switch. This GP Switch thing. Laughing my ass off. I just realized on the Pawn Live banner there's a sign advertising my general store. It's a secret to every pony, Seth. Is there? Did you stick one there too, Pony? Damn it! The whole internet is covered in those damn things. Pony's Minecraft general store. I think I'm having a psychosis, says RMAG. Very nice story, says Milkshake Deluxe. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's the first 7 pages, and some of it needs a little, touches of rewrites, and the original dialogue, even as I was reading it, didn't sound good. That last part comes together okay. So, in case you're interested in what the hell's going on there, I'll probably tell you that while we play the game that we'll be playing, which is American Truck Simulator. So how do I do that? Well, you just do that, Pawn. Boom! American Truck Simulator. Get me into the game. Give us some background noise. Can you give us some? Do you mind giving us some background noise, ATS? Wow, that's really low volume. I must have turned it way down. Little too predictable. Lol, says Angela's trying to put it. I saw all that coming. Is that too loud? Just a little bit down there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to American Truck Simulator on the Ronan Pawn channel, twitch.tv and blah, blah, blah. I haven't played this in like a year and a half since GP Switch. That must have been like nearby when it came out, I would think. It's only been out for like a year. American Truck, anyway. Maybe a year and a half. But Euro Truck has been out for ages. I have no idea what's going on in Euro Truck Simulator. I haven't played in ages. Apparently I'm still stuck with taking quick jobs. Unless we're in the middle of a job right now, I need a quick job, is what I need. Don't use Reddit, says Hologram 1. That's just good advice. I don't know what you were saying, Hologram 1, but that's damn good advice. Listen to Hologram 1. She knows what she's talking about. Paid for the whole goddamn game, only played 7 hours, says GP Switch. Yeah, that's you look at my Steam account, you'll see something similar. Honk honk! Alright, what am I doing? Where am I? You are usually in Reno, I think? Is that where I am? Take me to another thing. Take me to the world map. Where am I right now? Yes, I'm just outside Reno. Give me a quick job then. Coming out of Reno. We will grab a transport mission for just as many prostitutes as need to escape to Mexico. Which is a usual thing in Reno. You know, it's just it's common. It's what you do every day. Where are you going? We need to take 24,000 pounds worth of cars to Oakland, California. Cool, so it's you know, by the time you get to the job, then you just have to, like, shoot your way through the gangbangers. That joke doesn't apply anymore because a Buddhist California representative cleaned up Oakland. I don't know if you can say he cleaned it up, but he was in office when Oakland, you know, got its stuff together. Welcome! We're actually in the game! Is this the right side of a car? This is the right side of a car! Oh my god. I mean, for my country, it's so confusing. I was so used to playing Euro Truck to see this where I'm looking at and the steering wheel's on the left. That's wrong! Cheer 5, are we there yet? I need to pee. I want McDonald's. Remember that pawn when we nearly broke you with Cheers? No, that's never happened. Don't do that again. How do I play this game? F5 to change my mini-map. You guys can just barely see it for where they've put it in the game, and I don't know how to move it. I'm sure there's a way to move it. Alright, so I gotta get on the road here. E to start the engine. The sound is really low. Let me get some sound back in here. Because it's low even when I jack the volume up on my... Yeah, give me some master volume in here. Volume in Euro Truck games, I can't remember the name of the company that makes this. The volume in these games is just, like, deafening, usually. So I had it turned way the hell down, but I don't need it that far down today. Thank you very much. I want to hear a little bit of that rumble in the background. So where are we going? You're going out, Pawn? You want your headlights on? L for lights. L for lights twice. And then what are you doing? How do you drive? I don't know. Is this the exit? I don't know. It looks like an exit. Give me the closer up F5. Yes. We go out here and out onto the road and we sing a derecho to take the whores to Mexico, right? Just how far down do you want to go? Because we could talk it out over a cup of joe and we could look deep into your eyes like I was a supermodel. That's not how it goes. Uh-huh. Wow. It is intensely dark. This is black as night, man. Because it's night, Pawn. It's really black, though. Like, super, I can't see what the hell I'm doing black. Like, I'm not sure if this is, you know, good for the live stream. It actually looks very pretty. It's intensely pretty. Ultra graphic settings here. And now we've reached the point in which I will leave this on and go to sleep as it plays, as Hologram 1. Well, okay, you just listen, though, because I'm going to tell you, like, what the hell was going on in that story in the hopes that it wasn't obvious. Even after I give you the title, which is I Know the Future and You Die. So what's going on there, Pawn? Well, there's a strange, you know, device, right? Somebody's got a strange device, and then you got a crazy guy. Excuse me, coming through. I had the green. I get to pass. Strange device. You got a crazy guy who's shooting the hell out of everybody, killing people left and right, and all that sort of deal. He knows the name of the woman, and she doesn't know who the hell he is, and all that kind of stuff. So that much should be kind of, sort of, pretty obvious. I'm going into Reno to get my mission, right? That's what's going on here? I can't actually see where I'm turning. I'm just trusting the GPS that there's a road over there. I really am. At that point, it might be too dark. It might be too... I might have to adjust some graphical settings. Ask who, you imbecile. What? It's Noah Craw saying, effing ask him. You can be my girlfriend, boyfriend. You can be my sex friend, whoever's asking. I'm lonely. Send help. And whores. We're on the road. We're going into Reno to pick up the cargo, the cars. Pawn, have you ever used that cheat where you don't get speeding tickets? No, I didn't know there was one, Mr. GP Switch. How the hell do you know? Haven't only played this for 7 hours. Secret Every Pony Cheering 5. Pawn, can I be your girlfriend? Yes, everyone can be. And for a night, anyway. You know, I don't want to... No clinging. No clingers. I'm the only person who's allowed to cling in any relationship that I'm in, and I will ruin it. That's my standard. And now you know something about the author, and then you can like understand why I wrote the way I did. I don't know. Maybe that actually does kind of make sense. Oh crap! Nope, want to go this way. Wanted to go this way. I can't see anything. It's so freaking dark. So what was going on there in that story that I just told? Well, Jim, it's basically Groundhog Day meets John Wick meets, what's the novel where the guy gets unstuck in time? You know, this Korean War era novel, if I recall correctly. What is that, where he's bouncing through time and, you know, he goes to like his aliens take him to an alien zoo and he's the human and he's in the alien zoo and they're all made of hands with eyeballs in the middle. You know, that old wives' tale, that old children's story, everybody knows that one. It's basically kind of that, is, you know, some kind of mixture of that. Jim, laid hands on this device that Sarah had hands on first. Holy crap, slow her down, Pawn. Slow her down. In fact, shoot, you know, if they're going slow in this lane and that truck's getting over, I'm going to get over and go there too. What do you move, merging and then okay, I'll just keep doing what he's doing. You know, whatever he's doing ought to be legal. Jim laid hands on this device. Sarah had it at some point. And this device has thrown Jim into a loop of, if you die, you come back to the moment that you enabled the device kind of thing. He's in a time loop is what it is. Slaughterhouse 5, Los Angeles, that's exactly it. Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse 5. Thank you. Thank you, because I couldn't remember for the life of me. And I wouldn't have remembered Vonnegut until you said Slaughterhouse 5 either. I think that's the one, right? Yeah, so Jim has been stuck in a time loop where every time he dies, he goes back to where he started at. And the thing is that I believe the way I'm going to take this, I got a couple of different options, but the way that came to me immediately, and I try to go with my gut, is that Sarah, instead of having like a protagonist in here who is like, you know, she never did no wrong, she's the good guys, and our guys are the good guys, and the bad guys are the bad guys. Sarah worked at the place where they were developing this thing that causes the time travel, and I think I won't even make her like part of the, you know what, the fact that she's a badass, that actually kind of helps me. The fact that she's a badass, she was security. She doesn't know about this time device, she doesn't know, you know, the hell it does necessarily. She just knows that they had a prototype and they had the finished device. And she stole the prototype after they made the finished one because she figured, screw it. You know, she's a security person for hire. She's Blackwater style, kind of. You know, I'm just coming up with this now, finally putting the pieces together of why is she a badass? Well, there you go. There's your reasons. Do I have the trucks attached to me or something? I took a quick job? I don't know. They're just sending me down the highway, and I'm going to keep driving until the road stops pointing at me. That's F5. Sorry, I'll F5 it now. Thank you, Noah, for putting in the F5 thing on the bot. I'm really... Oh, that was GP Switch said it, and then NoBot said it, and then he said it. Your camera is lagging behind, says Noah Craw. Yeah, it'll happen. It'll right itself, maybe. What? Bypass the nearby way station. Have a safe journey! Oh, we don't have to stop. So yeah, she stole the device to sell it. And she set up a sale, a purchase of, you know, with some kind of bad dudes who wanted to buy the technology. She doesn't know what the technology is, but she's got people and contacts, and she can find people who want to buy a thing in order to sell it. You know, that's how I'm explaining Sarah, anyway, in my head as of now. So she stole it from them. You know, they already had the better version. She figured, whatever, you know, make some money here. Retire early, something. Doesn't really matter. So she stole it, and then Jim, I'm thinking, stole it off of her. But in a far less, like, you know, badass way. Jim was just a pickpocket, street pickpocket, and, you know, circumstance came up. She was standing there, she was, you know, distracted by something, she's paranoid, she's looking at somebody else, Jim's in the right position, he grabs, you know, he just reaches in to try and, like, steal a cell phone out of her pocket, comes out with some weird techno device, figures he'll sell it at a computer repair place, presses a button on it, and boom, it triggers to him, and now he's stuck in this time loop. Every time he dies, he comes back to life. At exactly the point that he enabled the device, which was shortly before Sarah was to meet up with, the people who she was going to sell this device to. Hence, there's a whole bunch of villain bastards waiting for her at the bistro. Those villain bastards weren't necessarily going to do anything. They're just there in the event of. The people who she's selling this to want to make sure that they get it and that there's no problems. And if she causes a problem, they're going to kill her dead and take it from her. Angelus2141 says, why did he swallow it? Well, I'm still working out the premises. Like, I'm talking through some of this as I go, but the idea behind that was that the device doesn't, like, permanently imbue him with the ability to the device has to be on him for it to work, for him to die. If he dies and the device is on his person, it's synced to him, and, as long as it's close enough to him, then yeah, he'll, time flash back. But if he loses it, or if somebody takes it from him, well, then he can just die. Jim figured this out at some point, thankfully before he, died, or lost the device. Or maybe there's a whole backstory. There's more backstory here than there is story. Story that'll never get written. Or story that you can go back to and write as, like, sequels or prequels and stuff like that. Yeah, so, he swallowed it because it's the safest place to have it on his person. No way to lose it till he has to take a number 2. and he's gone mad. Jim has gone mad. He's absolutely off his rocker. But his insanity is kind of sanity for what he's been going through, is where this story is heading, considering that every time he dies he comes back to life and all the things that have happened to him. In fact, let me get away from talking about Sarah for a moment and talk about Jim and Jim's backstory here. So he got this device, it enacted, it enabled, and he didn't know what the hell it was about. He didn't know what it had done. But, okay, Sarah went to her little meeting just around the corner from where he pickpocketed her, and he was still kind of in the area when shit went off, and they did shoot Sarah to death. And why did they shoot Sarah to death? Because at the bistro, she discovered she didn't have the device anymore. It was missing because Jim had stolen it. So then they're like, okay, where's the device? And that kind of thing, and then she pulls a knife, and, all the things that happen there, except minus Jim, and it turns into, she kills people, they kill her back. Kind of a thing, is how that works. Okay, no, I didn't! I was slowing down. Okay, get out of my way. Oh, no. Are we good? Are we good, bro? Bro, are we good? Cheer 5, could it be that he has to swallow it as the technology inside has to enter his body to connect with his nervous system and by extension his brain to send his consciousness alone back in time? Sure, we do that, Angelus. Something like that. I was slowing down, I was considering merging over, but I was telling Jim's story. So, like, this whole, like, a thing went off, far less gruesome and horrible than what I just described Jim, but on the first day, like, it went off, but Jim wasn't there, he wasn't at the bistro, he wasn't hanging around, he just stole something, he's trying to, he's keeping his distance, but it's kind of his area that he works. So when gunshots start firing over there, like, he's around enough to know that something happened, or maybe over the course of several iterations after he dies and comes back, he figures out what those gunshots were and goes and checks it out, and that kind of a thing. Doesn't have to be specific at this point. But so what happens is, whoever it is that she's trying to sell the thing to, very powerful people who have a lot of money and a lot of resources, and they track down, video footage from the street of Jim lifting the thing off of him, and then they go after Jim, and they fucking kill him and take the device, they kill him, and then they're going to take the device, but they kill him, and it sends him back. That could be a problem there. In my thinking, like, if they killed him for the device, he had the device and they killed him. I don't know. I can work it through. Cheer 5, why'd he swallow it in the first place? Same reason someone about to get busted with drugs does? Says Major Douglas. See, that's Angelus's idea. I was just going to have him swallow it as something that he figured out to do as he kind of went insane. And I like that better, actually, Angelus, now that I'm thinking about it. That he swallowed it as a way to keep it, because he's been going madder and madder and madder, and he's, trying to figure out temporal mechanics and watching his actions and how the butterfly effect works and all that kind of, and just not being, So it came to him, and it's a very logical solution that a madman would come up with. Giant thing that's, and just shove it down your throat. Now I won't lose it. Now I won't have to worry about that. So he wouldn't have swallowed it in the first instance. He would have just had it on his person, would be the idea. And they come after him, and maybe they gun him down before they can get the thing off of him. Alright? Let's say that. You know, there's an excuse. Anyway, he dies. He goes back. I'm coming up on this guy pretty fast. He goes back to his original body, and then you can just imply and imagine the many, many lives and deaths that go on while he's figuring this out, and these people keep catching up to him and killing him. And then he starts putting two and two together and figures out that, okay, they're coming after me because of the device. And starts putting it together with Sarah and the gunshot that's over there and all that kind of stuff. And anyway, he gets the idea that these guys are chasing me down and they're trying to kill me, and that, you know, I don't apparently die anymore. He gets all of that. And so, what does he do? Over the course of what I imagine in my head to be hundreds, if not thousands, of iterations, he manages to win, basically. He manages to, you know, get away from these guys in a way that they can't catch up with him. Or maybe he, you know, kills all of them eventually, because you're dealing with a man who never dies. You know, he dies, but then he goes back with all the knowledge that he learned every single time, over and over and over again. So, every time he dies, he knows where you're going to be next time. If he does everything exactly the same, he knows where you're going to be. So, doesn't matter how many times he has to die, as long as he keeps going straight at it, he will eventually destroy an entire, you know, agency. Take down the NSA, if he had it in him to. He's just trying to escape these guys. So, in my head, the backstory behind Jim is that he's done that, he escaped them, he got free himself, and then, having gone a little bit crazy from having to be this homicidal killer who killing people over and over and over again until he can get free with them every time, he's already had to deal with that stuff. His mind is getting a little bit, oh, wait, I gotta get off, I gotta get off, I gotta get off, I'm getting off, I'm getting off, I'm getting off. Now that he's free, he has to, like, consider things that he hasn't considered in, you know, as long as it's been that it took him to get free of these guys. He has to, like, sit back and go, okay, I got a future now. And it suddenly dawns on him, Sarah doesn't have a future. Not that he even knows Sarah or what her name is, but he's kind of gone crazy, you know? And a little bit crazy with power, because he beat a giant, you know, evil organization that was trying to get him. So there's a little bit of that in there. There's a little bit of, you know, I could go back in to the loop that I just escaped, you know, and I could get Sarah out too. I could get that woman out too. I could save her life from these bastards and get me out, no problem. And so it's like, I love the idea that he got out, freed himself from the cycle, killed all the bastards, and then he decided to go back in because, you know, maybe a little bit of, like, pride and a little bit like, I can do it because I know everything about these guys. I know, you know, where everybody's going to be, at what point, and all that kind of stuff. I can just get in there and do it, and, you know, I'll save her life, and, you know, it's kind of my fault that she's dead. It is my fault that she's dead. So he decides to go back into the loop. Shouldn't be too hard, maybe a couple of dozen tries. It turns out to be fucking impossible, basically, to keep Sarah alive and himself alive and get this thing done. And so he is just going through loop after loop after loop, and the more the time that he has spent with Sarah, the more he has, you know, started to fall in love with her, kind of thing, you know, because he's crazy. This is the only person who he connects with. Every time that he goes through this loop, you know, they talk about, he gets to explain himself and what's going on with all this stuff to her, and it's somebody to connect to over and over and over again as it's not working. And now he's stuck back in the loop. He can't get himself out unless he decides to abandon Sarah, and he won't abandon Sarah, and his mind is twisted. I love the backstory. That would go mostly unsaid and just define these characters. And I don't even know where the story's going, but I've written all the backstory for it. I'll put it where you need it. I remember this place, and I remember that I abandoned it last time. I tried to park a truck here. So this time, let's see if we can't figure out where it's supposed to go. I think what I have to do is, there's a corridor on the other side of this, on the other side of all that, and I think I have to back into it. And if I pull in forward when I start, I'm going to be really, really effed. Because it says the place back there to park. No, there it is! Okay! This is a different place than it tried to have me park before. I actually didn't find where it wanted me to park last time. I just got so confused. Oh, screw it! And I hit the enter button. Cheer 5. This sounds similar to an anime called Steins Gate. Really? I might have to look into that. I don't have any anime on my docket right now. I'm always looking for something good and someone to recommend me. Oh, this is an easy place to park, relatively speaking, to some of the horrible places that American Truck Simulator in particular, American Truck Simulator in particular will throw at you and say, yeah, just park her up over there. It's like, is that spot designed for a moped? You want me to park a truck there? Ooh, I lined it straight up, didn't I? Now, which way do I have to turn in order to go the way? Okay, opposite spawn. Tier 5. Make the device traceable, because the one thing that annoys me with stories like that is how come the guy just doesn't hide in the sewers with Sarah till the bad guys think they left? Okay, maybe not like GPS traceable, but maybe it leaves like some kind of signature, you know, aberrant something, and, you know, so they can track his trail and he has to keep moving. I like that as opposed to just being able to zero in on him, but I can put that in there as a negation for, you know, 1, how did they find him, and 2, why didn't they just, you know, disappear completely? Okay, I can do that. Let me back this thing in. Ooh, 1 try. 1-shot pawn. I never get to do 1 shot. Not an American Truck Simulator, are you kidding me? Right back in, and anytime now, anytime now. Anytime now. There you go, there it is. T. Put it down. I did it! Excellent work, I only hit 1 person on the road. Why, that's 3 less people than I usually hit on the road. What's the, particles people usually associate with time travel devices? Tachyon? Yeah, tachyon particles. It can leak tachyon particles, Mage Lord Exobirth. Tachyon warp flux phasing or something like that. Thought it was chronoton. Both of those, depending on which angle of science fiction you're coming at it from. Tachyons and chronotons and... I don't know. We're level 7, skill rank 2, cars delivered from Reno to Oakland. Wasn't my truck, so I don't have to repair that front-end damage that I did to it. Ooh, and I went up a level. What should I have, long distance, or hazardous cargo, or fragile cargo? I take fragile cargo for the extra muns. I think I want long distance. I want good long, you know, things where I can just get on the road and drive and talk about Jim and Sarah. Jim and Sarah. I got so much, there's so much backstory to this. That's just in my head, and that's just been imagined in this. I woke up, this started from a dream. I had a dream, this was not the dream, but something in that dream was like the seed of an idea that went and just owned me this entire day. Oh good, for a while I couldn't see chat or type in it, says Zorglob. Twitch is really screwy today. Hello, Zorglob! You got here just in time, if you're just showing up. Well, you're just saying hello anyway, for a live stream break. We're gonna take our first live stream break. Let's be honest, FTL is practically time travel. Yes, faster than light travel is time travel. It's the problem with going faster than C, is causality. Which I guess you could just call C, couldn't you? The universal speed limit. Maybe the capital C stands for causality. Because, that's the problem. You can't go faster than causality. If you do, you can show up to where you left from before you go, and that's a big problem. How about a small amount of radiation that's enough to have a unique signature, says RMAJ. That's what we'll go. I love the live stream break. It's one of my favorite parts, says Zerglop. I'm on board with that, RMAJ. Oh, I got F5. I got F5. We're gonna F5 as we take ourselves a brief live stream break here on the Ronin Pawn channel. And I turn the audio down on the game so we can play some music. That latest Discovery episode was surprisingly not. What? Not? It was just not? It was... I thought you said hot. That might get me interested in Discovery. Who's the, you know, de facto sex icon woman wearing skin type uniform? Who's that on this particular Star Trek? It's like, it's 2018, Pawn. They don't do that anymore. Well, then it's not Star Trek. Screw you, Discovery. It refers to the speed of light, of course. C in equals MC squared stands for celeritas, which is Latin for speed. Okay. I'm going to say it's causality, and they messed it up. Cheer 123, going to sleep. Guten Nacht. Guten Nacht, Evil Donner Balkan. Don't Don't forget to catch up on the rest of the story of Jim and Sarah at Pawn Live on YouTube, where the VODs are going to be in perpetuity from now on. If you're missing the VODs, XCOM, KSP, anything that we've been doing until now, they're gonna land over there. I think I do have a huge pile of XCOM live stream VODs that I'm just gonna have to publish on the Ronin Pawn channel in a big batch, or maybe, you know, one at a time over a couple of days, however I decide to do it. But after that, all the VODs are going to be at Pawn Live. Go check it out on YouTube. In fact, while we're going to the break, it's a good way for you to kill some time before we get back to the epic saga of Jim and Sarah. We will be back in 7 minutes. Please don't go anywhere. Thank you for listening to my stories, too. I'm very excited about this little thing. I don't know if I've got it in me to keep writing this way. This is what I read today was like 7.5 pages, and those 7.5 pages probably were more than 7.5 hours to write. And that's actually, I'm writing faster than I usually do. I mean, this story, it's so exciting. How exciting? Are you going to play the music? Are you going to play Ben Sounds or Revolution Void's How Exciting? Are you going to do that? Because that was the thing I was doing there. Thanks. Back in 7 minutes.
How exciting!
Pawn not out. Hello, I am the Ronin Bone, and welcome back to a Twitch.tv live stream. Live stream on a Twitch.tv is that Ronin Bone. We're back to American Truck Simulator. It's brought to you by the Ronin Bone. And so forth and so on. F5, F6, and F9 is to stop it. Stop what? Stop. Whenever somebody's doing something wrong to you on the internet, you get on Reddit, which you shouldn't be there, but they start treating you bad, you just hit F9. Back out of there. Actually, now that I think about it, the Jim and Sarah story we're telling of a story who's got an F9 that's, or an F5 that's stuck somewhere, and every time he dies, someone holds down F9. Angela's cheering 5. So given the thousands of loops Jim's been through trying to save Sarah, and given she's a badass Blackwater type, how many times are you planning on having her kill him? Angela's 2141 says. Well, it's all a lot of backstory, is the thing, you know? What I'm talking about now aren't even the stories that I mean to tell. Like, I love the idea of jumping into a story like this, where all of this stuff has just happened. It's the bare minimum. So absolutely, in the past, Sarah killed Jim a bunch. I mean, the whole him standing there, the part that I've got written that I read at the beginning, the whole him standing there, as she, like, takes the gun from his hand, turns around, puts the single shell into the chamber. I don't describe any of that. She just turns her back on him, and he kind of stands there, waiting, bites his lip. But clearly, you know, she turns around, she puts the single bullet, the clips over there, puts the single bullet into the chamber, turns around and click, and it doesn't fire. That's kind of a hint and a nod and an homage to the fact that, oh yeah, Sarah has killed Jim a lot. He had to figure out there's a couple of ways that this scenario goes where she doesn't up and kill me before I can explain what's going on, or before we can just get the hell out of here before the other guys show up. Absolutely. And I love the idea, like, this more in my head is either... I mean, in my head, I was writing it as a screenplay to start for, like, a movie, and then I went, this is better as a television series, but there's problems with that. And now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I should just write it as a book, and then I can write all the stories that I want to write. You know, going back, going forward, going all over the place. I just love the idea of it as a television series, though, because where you take this is you do the whole first season, and every episode is, you know, another loop, kind of, you know, where they go through something and Jim learns a new thing and Sarah and their relationship grows and then just loops back. And that's really annoying for a television series because it's like, are you going to redo their relationship every single time? So there's problems with it. But I think it could be written, you just have to write it well and you'd have to know that that's going to be a problem. How do we, like, not burn people out on the premise? And music. Thank you. You've been lovely. Get where the hell's the mouse? Get the hell out of here, music. But I love it because here's how you do season 2. Okay, you go through a whole season, and then season 2 starts off, and what I was thinking was the little device that allows him to, like, travel back to, you know, where he first enabled the device, because it was the prototype, it, like, burned out, you know, or it got, like, stuck to him. So that explains why, well, why doesn't he just give the device to Sarah if he cares for her so much, and then she can be the one that tries to figure out how to save him or something like that. It wouldn't have worked for some reason, technology-wise, is my idea. So season 2 starts out, and in one of their loops, they actually get to one of the people who worked on the device. They force the person to fix it. They fix it, and now they can make that choice. And so at the end of season 1, they make the choice, which means they can't go back ever again to where Jim started, because she's hitting the button, and that means this is the point in time that she's now grounded to, and from now on, the next whole season is from Sarah's perspective. She's the one leading the loops, and Jim is the one who's, you know, he knows what's going on, but every time they die, you know, so it's a whole other thing. If you can get through that first really hard-to-write season, after that, you know, Jim and her will be on the same plane of, like, knowing what's going on, and then the season going after that would be, like, you know, she could go and together they find some stuff out, and then they both die, and then she comes back, and then she just tells Jim, and it's not as big of an issue. And then there could be all the things that she doesn't tell Jim, you know, maybe the relationship that they kind of had, and then it went sour on one of the things, and then she just doesn't mention it to him, and that you can play the romantic, you can ship the hell out of this thing. Cheer 5. And every episode is a new leap, with Jim hoping his next leap will be the leap home. There's definitely a quantum leap angle to it as well. Damn you! You. So, Jim and Sarah, let's get another drive going, Paul. Let's jump into the job market and find out where we're going today. In fact, I need to find out where I am. Into the quick job, go to the world map. Well, I'm in Oakland, right? I went to Oakland, so I should still be in Oakland. Eh? Is that... No, they keep putting me back at Reno because it's quick jobs. Okay, I need to get my own truck. How am I doing for money? How am I doing for money? Could I afford a truck? And by the way, where's the in-game audio, Pawn? It's there. It's there. What are you talking about? It's always been there. My girl, don't lie to me. What kind of money have I got here? I got $85K in the bank. If I wanted to purchase a truck, how much do they cost? Well, if I discovered anywhere to buy it, well, it'd have to be in Reno, apparently. Shall we buy it? Let's just go and see the features for trusted customers only. Alright, well, we'd visit the selected deal. Do you really want to travel to Reno? I'm in Reno. Yeah, let's do it. How much does a truck cost? I got $85K, list price of $112. I could almost buy it outright, not even take a loan. Eh? So, what is this? We got a Peterbilt? Looks like a little guy. Whoa! Now there's an American truck. By the way, if you're used to Euro Truck Simulator, you'll notice our trucks are designed to be basically a brick wall driving into the wind. Just like... Yeah, we haven't heard of aerodynamics over here yet. Here's a Peterbilt 389 Ultra Cab Sleeper with the list price of almost $200K. Good lord, I kind of like the little one. I like little things. This one's $174K, high-rise sleeper. It's $171, so I guess with the sleepers I wouldn't have to stop at motels and stuff. Because if you got your own sleeper cab, I would think. I'm just looking for one that I like the look of. Low roof sleeper. Ooh. All my friends never low rider. American vehicles have crash protection crap, while European ones have crash prevention crap. Oh, crash protection crap, and you have crash prevention crap. I see. How about the 0.1% though? I don't like the sound. What? Ooh, black. I don't know. You can change the color if you don't like it, Pawn. 145. Now there's one that actually looks like somebody's put some thought into it. Eh? You know, kind of aerodynamic, that one. Slightly. I don't mind it too. For some reason I'm drawn to yellow. No. Yeah. Is that the original one? And we're back around to the... Yeah, it is. See, I do like that one. I mean, I like that it's cheap, is one of the things that I like. It does have a duty cabin, so I can apparently poop in the back, behind the seats, in my duty cabin. Yeah, between the two of them, it's like that one or the other one. This is $141,000. It's a better place. It comes with its own sleeper, stand-up sleeper. Is that how you sleep? You just stand there? Means you can walk in and it's tall enough for you to stand up on. You don't know that. I don't know nothing about trucks. Day cab, no. I think I want to start out with the cheapest little guy. I like it. Yeah, customize the configuration? No, just take it as it is. Take it as it is. I can't afford it or nothing, but, you know, this is the duty cabin. This is the one, right? This is the one I was selecting. Give me it. You know, preview it? No, just buy it. Do I have to take the loan outside of here and then I can pay? How do I buy a thing? Stock offers where I just clicked, and then gimme. Where's the purchase button? It won't let me purchase. I need to go get the money from a loan, apparently. I'll take a loan. Do you really want to exit the truck dealer? Yeah. Yeah, apparently. Where do I get loans? Or can't I? Purchase truck company status. The bank. You go to the bank to get the loans, Pawn. So $10,000 wouldn't be enough. I'd need $50,000, and it'll cost me $1,207 a day. Good God. One of these loans would put me, like, 2 of these loans, 3 of these loans would definitely get her done. I'll take the loan. Yeah. Yeah, do you wish you confirm your... Yeah, I'll take it. 20 friggin' percent, huh? Good God. All right, well, we got to get moving or else we're going to go bankrupt here. Back to the truck dealers. I now have 135K, apparently. Over to the thing. Visit the selected dealer. Yep. Go ahead and do it. Buy me in the stock configuration. This little dude. Oh, wait. No, that's the preview, and that's the... Nope. Just purchase. It's mine. I want it. Wow, there's no confirmation button? Is there a back button, American Truck Simulator? I click on purchase, it's just like, we took your money, here's your truck. That doesn't seem quite right. Ooh. Ooh. Do I get like a free garage when I buy a truck? 'Cause I'm going to need my own garage. Oh, it looks like I do. It looks like I do. Yeah. I'm a truck owner. And here's my truck headquarters. Oh, that looks perfect. That looks exactly correct for an American trucking station. Wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Pull her in, baby. Alright, yeah, no, you can show me all the sexy shots of my little mini wee babby truck that I'm probably not going to be able to take any, you know, missions with or anything. Do I need to pull in? I'll pull in and I'll go around back. I'll pull into, because it's my place, so I want to, you know, I want to say hello to my joint. In fact, if I park here, I can get a mission, right? I don't know. We are in Reno. Our size is tiny. I like tiny things, and that's what I look like. He's got my hair. I mean, I've got his hair. Just not on now. It's over there. I can have his hair at will, is what I'm saying. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so I don't need anything that you got to offer. I just need to go and find myself a job. This is what I need. And pull out, spin her around. Good. Well, watch out for the dirt. Might want to have somebody shovel that away for you later. Wow, a lot of get up and go when you don't have anything attached to it anyway. There you go. Now let's find ourselves a job. Job market. We are in Reno, right? Make sure, Pawn. The freight market. Yeah, you're definitely in Reno. Where are we going? What do you got for me today? Something fragile, particular. More cars to Oakland. Apparently that's a regular shipping choice. I don't want to do the same mission again. Holy crap, that's a lot of money. To Flagstaff, Arizona, 22,000 pounds. I wonder what my truck is rated at. That's actually one of the lighter things. Actually, the cars is lighter than that. Let's take the big money thing. We'll drive all the way to Flagstaff from Reno. A good long drive. Set the GPS destination. Let's go pick her up. Yes, sir. So, give me the closer map mode. It's not the middle of the night, so you should probably look both ways, Pawn. Well, I kind of... Hey, I'm pulling out here. Big truck. I didn't signal or anything because I'm in America, and we just don't do that over here. As far as I know, you know, I do. No one else seems to think that it's particularly appropriate or important to do so when they're either turning or changing lanes. It's shows our culture. We assume that everyone around us is psychic, and one of these days it's going to work out for us. Just like this whole representative democracy thing, we believe in that just as we do, you know, everyone else's psychicness. Ah! Okay, I already damaged my vehicle. Already damaged my. You stopped short. The stop is pull up. How you going to turn left from back there? See? You got a woman in there? Is that why you did it? You did the old stop short trick where you stop short and then you grab for her boob. And then you go, oh, I'm sorry. I was just didn't want you to lean forward into the dash. Is that what he was doing? Because he cost me $700. I hope that tit was real pert. America's Infrastructure Network earned a D+ from the American Society of Civil Engineers. I live in one of the places that's dragging that D+ down. So, are you ever going to turn left? I think this place needs like a stoplight at this particular section. Probably that's the civil engineers that didn't do their job. Because he's not getting out, and I'm going to push his ass through if he doesn't just turn against it. Turn against traffic. There you go. It's America. That's what we do around here. You should probably look in the other direction. There. All right. Go. We're apparently going to... They want me in the right lane? Okay. I'm in the right lane. I don't know if the right lane is the right lane, but we're in the right lane. I want to talk more about Jim and Sarah, but if I start up now, I'm just going to interrupt myself by the time we try and pick something up, because it ain't easy for me to, you know, back a truck up and get something in. Cheer 5. Oh, run the yellow. It was yellow. It was yellow when I went through it. You all saw it. I have a couple of dozen witnesses here. Tier 5, Opon, there's an old TV series called 7 Days about a guy traveling through time. Looks like it's on YouTube. Give it a watch for some inspiration. And a TV pilot that never got picked up called Rewind. Okay. How far are we going to pick the damn... Okay, it's just up here and then it's a left. So thanks for telling me to get into the right lane. Because it's going to be to the left. I saw it. I saw it, I did. This is really beautiful, actually. Wow. And it's very America. It's absolutely America, you know? Euro Truck always... It felt a little clinical to me. Because, you know, I live in a place where if there's not rust on literally everything, then I just don't feel comfortable. And I'm not actually joking about that. Because I lived in Florida for a little bit, and I just felt weird. I just felt weird because Florida is, there's like, it's so much of it is new construction that, you know, the bridges and the overpasses and stuff, they don't look like they've had, you know, 50 years of life and somebody's dumped a bunch of salt on them in order to, you know, make the roads safe in winter, which is a really good idea that just destroys your highways. And then Michigan, because that's our practice here, spends copious amounts of money rebuilding roads like once every 5 to 7 years. It's incredible. Earn money for your company using your own equipment. Yes, of course. That's the one. And which one was it? It was a lot of money. It was the machine parts to Flagstaff. Gimme. And we're gonna find out the hard way because I couldn't be bothered to check at like statistics or whatnot. I'm gonna find out the hard way whether or not my little wee babby truck here has the power in order to drag 22,000. But it was one of the lightest things. The only thing lighter on the list out of Reno was 17.5. Did someone just come in behind me? I should check the green screen. Look behind you, Pawn! F6! F5! F9. Oh, good. It's one of these, there's actually not enough room to even back into it, let alone pull it out kind of a jobs. Good! Excellent. You don't value that fence, do you? Okay. And then swing her back the other way. Ooh, I got it. I got it straight out of the gate. Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Right there. And then a T. And I got it. Raise the trailer legs. Spin that wheel. There you go. And then, I guess we're going out to the left, aren't we? Just turn the wheel a lot before you even get started. Might have to jackknife this thing just to get it out of here. No! That's not gonna... It's a really tiny space to try and pull a thing out of. I didn't mean to, but I did. Alright, swing it a little bit wider than that, Pawn. I'm gonna pull it out a little bit and then jackknife it. Pawn, I shut down the bot. It's working fine. It's just that Twitch's API only returns a couple of people to be actually viewing, thus not giving points to a lot of people, says Noah Croft. I think that Twitch is doing some stuff right now on their end because a whole bunch of Twitch hasn't been working lately. So... Actually, can anyone confirm that? Can anyone, like, check that out online and see if Twitch is, you know, running updates and has made some kind of notice to the public about, we're working through some issues because there's been a lot. Today, it was I couldn't use communities. Yesterday, I couldn't even start the live stream through it. And then it wouldn't even allow me access to my stream key in order to try and force it in. I think they're doing something. They're changing things. And not for, you know, it's hopefully for the better. It's always for the better with Twitch. I mean, at least since Amazon bought it. I'm hoping that, you know, this platform really takes off and runs the gamut and runs circles around YouTube because it deserves to. YouTube is trying to find ways to make money on subscription-based platforms instead of ad money, which is exactly what Twitch did, except for Twitch actually lets you make money off of subscription-based platforms, whereas YouTube just wants to sell people, you know, cable internet, or I mean cable TV, and rent movies, and hey! I have the right-of-way, I'm turning right! That's how it works in this country. Are you from Euro Truck? I'm gonna get in the left lane because it's, no, you should be in the right lane, you're a truck pawn. Trucks in America are supposed to be in the right lane. Look at that beautiful bar. That's just really good. That is really good. Freezing temperature of salted water is lower than normal water, says Noah Craw. Is lower than, so that's to, okay. I don't know why we dump salt on our roads. You know, it completely destroys them. Other places use sand. Problem with sand is that actually sand is becoming a commodity. It's becoming a serious commodity. It's hard to get sand that you can actually use in, like, construction and in glass making and stuff like that. I mean, it's not hard yet, but they're projecting, like, you know, that whole thing where we might just end up having, like, water wars and whatnot? We might just end up having, salt or sand wars as well. Wars over sand. Is this going to be a 3-laner? It doesn't look like it, I think, because the tiny dashes on my right, it's suggesting to me that this lane is ending. Also, that sign that says this lane is ending, suggesting to me. I'm not sure, but, oh, and also that the lane ended. The problem with melting it with salt is, 1, it rusts vehicles. Oh boy, does it. 2, water freezes into ice because we have concrete slabs instead of fancy porous asphalt for the water to seep away into, and the temperatures here often get low enough to freeze salt water, says Mage Lord Exelberth. And that would be in, Minnesota? Is that the deal? Is that the deal? Silicon for CPUs? I don't know why we just don't, you know, pave highways out of rubber, and then you got rubber on rubber, you know? Slam those brakes on, and everybody gets whiplash. I don't know why. I don't know why. There's gotta be something better than this. Something doable that's better than what we've got right now. You know? Because it just doesn't work in these northern regions, where the weather is just eating away at it, and the best thing that we can come up with, because we've got huge salt deposits under the city of Detroit, is to just throw salt all over the place, which just destroys the roads and the cars that are on them. It's really hard to find a car that did a stint in Michigan. There we go. Woohoo! Okay, didn't realize this was a construction zone. Okay. You had to use the Jake brake there. Oh, look, they've actually got, like, proper accidents and stuff, and they modeled the damage on the cars. Cool! Back in the right lane, I'm a truck. Mage Lord Exelberth cheering 5. There's a lot better than what we do right now. Just look at Europe, for example. Well, I don't want to feel that inferior. What do they do in Europe, for example? Are there highways made out of, like, that stuff that comes in the foam can? Is it foam highway? You just spray it down and then no rebar needed? I'm pretty sure I live way north of Michigan and we all think we have a very okay climate, says GP Switch. Yeah, look it up. Look up what the average coldest temperatures are in Detroit, Michigan, and then look up wherever you're from. And then compare what your parallel is on the globe to mine. Because Detroit is apparently one of the, just for reasons, for like weather reasons, because this is how it happens to be doing it right now. We're like one of the coldest places on the friggin' planet relative to what we should be. Today the weather just broke and we had a nice sunny day and a lot of it melted. We had some snow that was like proper wet snow and it didn't just come down as, you know, nearly ice in and of itself. But for the past week here in January, we have had temperatures that were in the Celsius-wise, -8, -10, -12, that kind of thing. And I looked it up because I'm like, Jesus, we're at the 42nd parallel. What about, like, people at the 49th parallel? And it's just, it has to do with, you know, getting warmth from ocean winds and stuff. Okay, I was supposed to swing right there. I knew. I didn't need the skating. I'm good. Weather has to do with so much. It's just, I can't believe how friggin' frigid my state is for what it's supposed to be. Okay, I need to slow down because everyone ahead of me is going slower. This is a good thing about America. Without, like, you know, speed cameras, as long as there's not a cop there, just go. I mean, in countries where they have speed cameras, it's like, well, if there's not a speed camera, just go. But, yeah, actually, it is better in other countries because I've been in South Korea and where there were speed cameras, and it was brilliant because, you know, the highways between the speed cameras, everybody knows the speed cameras are posted where they're going to be, and you know, everybody on the road just does like 1,000 miles per hour, and then you get up the speed camera, and everybody slows down together, and everybody goes together again. We're in Carson City. Who wants to stop at the casino for restaurant and espresso? Because that's what casinos do, kids. And there's a general store. You don't have those anymore. That should be like a Walmart. And a green light tea and coffee. That'll be out of business soon because of Walmart. Oh, poop, yes, Rodent Pong. Your temperatures dip into the minus Celsius on a monthly average. I'm just north of you, and we don't have that. I know, right? I looked at Europe. I looked at like Norway and stuff like that, and I was like, so your average is like -2 Celsius, -4 Celsius? We're averaging in our coldest month in January -8. And that's the average, which means it goes lower than that, and it goes higher than that, but an average? Why? It's Michigan. Our whole state is shaped like a mitten. It should be warm in here. We are also surrounded by, you know, the world's largest inland supply of fresh water. Or, I don't know if it's the world's largest. I think it's the world's largest. The Great Lakes. Which, I don't know if that hurts or helps us. I think it hurts us. It's just the jet stream. Just blame it all on the jet stream. It's always the jet stream. Yeah, I'm drinking and driving. What's your problem? I'm better when I drink. It's true with me. There are days where I can't drive if I don't have a beer or two because of the chronic fatigue syndrome. And people don't get it. It's not about pain. I'm having a little bit of pain now, but it's not about pain. It's something about the beer just like brings me back to life. The chronic fatigue it will actually give me brain fog. I won't be able to like focus on something. I was driving down the road with a friend. He was talking to me while I was driving. After I'd been on my feet for like 20 minutes in a store, and that's where the other end is. But I was talking to him, get back in the car, and he starts talking to me, and I simultaneously can't like focus on what he's saying enough to know what he's telling me, and I'm trying to, and at the same time I realize the effort to try and focus on what he's saying so that I can actually like hear his story and not just gloss over it is taking so much away from my attentiveness to the road that I just pulled the car over and said, "You drive." And thankfully, he's been driving stick longer than I have, because I do drive a stick shift. So he could drive us home, but I was completely not capable of driving. Then we went back to his house. I cracked a beer, felt immediately better, cracked another one just to feel extra better, and then I drove home. Because I was not safe to drive until I had a beer in me. I really wasn't. 10 to 12 C here. Pretty good, says Amaker. -8, man. How the hell do I... And I am just not built for cold weather. I've never been built for cold weather. My Zen master got me into skiing because he was a big skier. And that made winter better for me. And my body got a little bit attuned to being out in the wet. But when I'm just walking around... I mean, I haven't been out this year, so I haven't had it. But in previous years, when I'm just walking out and about, it doesn't even have to be that cold. It can be like 30 degrees Fahrenheit. It can be, -1, 0 Celsius. I will walk into a store and go up and, buy something, go up to the counter, and the clerk will be like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with your hands?" Because my fingers from here on out will just turn this sickly yellow zombie white from the lack of circulation to them. And it really is, like, freaky and looks wrong. And yes, I lose feeling in them and that kind of stuff. I've never lost a finger or anything to it. But I'll get indoors and I'll run my hands under hot water in order to... And one, that's painful as hell. But two, it actually makes it look worse. Before it gets better, it looks a lot worse. It ends up looking like real super zombie hand. Like, my finger goes from, like, a sickly yellow to, like, even whiter before it gets the blood flowing back into it and looking right. I got all kinds of problems. Let me tell you about my lumbago. I remember being on a train once and overtaking several rainstorms. We just passed under them. Really? Really? I want to know something crazy, Mage Lord Exelberth. Runpole looked it up. Twitch support Twitter says they're having a lot of problems in the past 24 hours. Issues with viewing and changing stream keys. Issues with users logging out. Issues with pages not loading. API issues. Cool, Noah Craw. I knew it. And you've just confirmed it for me. Oh, look out for the pothole. They got potholes. They got potholes in the American edition. This is good. This is good. I mean, it's definitely not as much, it's not as big a place to drive around, but friggin' hell, they really put some polish on this. On what they've done. I hope they... Are they still, like, even working on more states to release? I hope they keep, you know... this is a game where it's worth the DLC. It's worth paying for the DLC if they keep releasing states for it. I saw, Noah. So there's this train going at 90 to 100 miles per hour and seeing the rain coming and going. Okay, what's the other train speed going in, and where's it leaving from? Because if there's one leaving from Chicago at 7 a.m. and it's doing 90 to 100 miles per hour, and the second train leaves from Denver going, when will the person in the second train poop? Is the questions that we get. It's America. That's how we test people. It's our SATs. Do you guys have questions like that in you know, on your tests in your European nations? Do you get questions like that where it's story based? A train leaves here at this time, traveling that, and when will they cross paths? Crap. I mean, obviously everybody's got story based questions, but that in particular. That kind of a train situation question is what I'm asking about. I'm curious about standardized testing in other countries, because ours is really, really, really messed up. Screwed up the whole education system. Kids that aren't good at taking standardized tests where they, you know, A, B, C, D, E choice you, but that are really smart, get really screwed out of a proper education and out of their scholarships and things that they should be getting because of the way that we test people. If you're not good at taking tests, if it stresses you out too much and you can't focus, well then, you know, you don't deserve to take that great big intellect you've got and figure out a way for us to not destroy our roads with salt in the winter in the northern territories. Running point, they're still adding states. Once I can drive the eastern corridor, I'm buying it, says Ian the Pineapple. Okay. I would love to see Detroit in here, you know, especially with the detail they're putting in here. I'm sure they'd have, like, truck muggings. Because you'd have to. By the way, my little truck, handling this load, no problem. We are routinely, I'm pretty sure that was a cop that just passed. Speeding is what I was going to say, and I'm pretty sure that was a cop that just passed. I was doing 59 and a 55. I slammed on the brakes down to 51. Oh, it's just like being in America. Except in America, the smarter thing is to just keep going and hope that he doesn't pull you over. Because if you like slam on the brakes, then that just draws their attention. Then they notice, oh, he's speeding. And they got laser guns and stuff, but you know, if they're looking for people who are doing more than speeding, if they can catch them. So the people who are really nervous and who lock up their brakes, you know, there's a better percentage chance that they're also running drugs or they've got an unregistered weapon in the car, or whatever it is that Americans are known for. Especially the trained ones, except the trains aren't late. Never get that one. So you do have those questions? Applied maths, yes, in the UK. You got those horrible train questions. They're just like designed to be confusing. It's like, you know what? I don't know. I mean, I get it. You know, story questions. How do you apply your learned knowledge of trigonometry in the real world? There's the bridge that's this long and it needs to have support. It's got it. I never got a question like that. We're not that smart in America. But, you know, I get what you're trying to go for there, but just the people writing the questions need to be smart enough to write good ones. And that's where the problem comes in. We need more testing for the people actually writing the tests, I think. Here, 10 kilometers over is fine, but some people go like 30 and 40 over, which is just crazy. Oops, I cut you off. Oops, no, you can pass me. Come on, go ahead. I didn't mean, I cut a guy off on the left. He was going to try and move to pass me because I'm not doing enough speed, apparently. I'm almost doing the speed. Hang on, 68, 69. What is it? It's C for cruise control, right? Oh, God. No, we're fine. This was about as fast as I would ever hit anybody in any of these games. Here we go. Now we're on a downhill, hit C at 70 miles per hour, and now I just don't even have to drive. I'm going to go get another beer. Holy poop says, oh crap, this is a turn and a half for 70 miles per hour. Holy poop, said Noah Craw, the Vive Pro has a supported play area of 10 by 10 meters. That's a lot of meters. Nobody's got a house that big. Nobody's got space for that. You set it up in a gym. Actually, Actually, when the Vive became available, my first thought was, we need to, if I had a bunch of money to just be throwing around at things that I'm not passionate about but that are good ideas, I would have totally started up a VR arcade, okay, where you come in and you pay by the hour, some between, probably it would have to be close to like $10 an hour, but we get some good computers, plug in some Vives, $10 an hour, come on in, wide selection of virtual reality games for you to play, and especially now that there's a number of multiplayer VR games out, the idea is far more salient. 2 or 3 years ago, someone developed solar roadway panels, says Gohan0646. Provided heat in the winter, absorbed power when sunny, used LEDs to display road signs or hazards, negated the need for power, internet, and phone lines. And it was a quarter of a mile long for just $3 billion. I don't know. It's a good idea. I like that. Ronan Point, at the moment, I don't have a single room in my house even close to 10 by 10 kilometers? No, meters. Hold on, I'll get the sledgehammer. I was actually going to make the room that my dad is staying in now in the back of the house when I first bought the house, or when Chris Hammond first gave me the Vive. Thank you, Chris Hammond. He donated it. I was going to make that room into my exclusive play space for the Vive, and because that's got so much empty space in it, being like 9 by 10 foot. So much, just a wide, playable space. I mean, in this room, I've got similar space, but there's stuff in it. I figured it out, though. I've got my lights hanging from the ceiling by a $3 electrical pole that I drilled holes through. Major Lord Exelberth cheering 5. Whoa! Solar roadways is a failure. Also a rather idiotic concept. Well, it sounds like it had a lot of cool features to it. Just, functionally, it seems like that would be rather expensive. I don't know that it could pay for itself, even if you could find people to pay for it. I don't know. It's a good idea. Well, it's not a good idea, but something like that is a good idea. Something that's not just like pour sand mixed with mud down, let it dry, and then pour salt on it when you got to get the ice off of it. Just something smarter than that in the 29th century or whatever it is we're into now. Hi guys! Yeah, I swung it wide. Excuse me, officer. That was an officer. He doesn't even know about the crack cocaine and the whores in the back of the truck. Barber shop, Garden of Eden. It's the same. No, it's a pizza place over there. Completely different town. Or I've been driving in circles. Ooh, Chinese takeout. I could really do for Ray's Hamburgers. No, Chinese. I'd rather have Chinese. Hard to find good Chinese in Detroit. You go! Turn left! Frick. Yeah. Yeah, you know what's not hard to find good in Detroit? Middle Eastern cuisine. Oh my God. I live just, 2 miles, well no, Hamtramck is a town that's 2 miles large inside of Detroit. It's a town inside a town. It's a city in a city. But Middle Eastern, it's like 60 different nationalities living in 2 square miles. And, man, you want something Mediterranean, something Middle Eastern, something like that. Oh, they got it, and they got it good. They've also got it really bad, too. There's one place in particular that I'm guessing the food is probably more authentic, and it's a acquired taste, because I've had their version of the dishes, or maybe they're just bad at it. I don't know. Maybe it's not authentic. Maybe they're just bad at it. But they stay in business year after year. Somebody's buying. Yeah, I can get me some falafel and hummus and just all kinds of good stuff over here. Olive leaves wrapped, soaked in oil. Don't get those often. I don't get them at all these days, but man, if you're gonna eat olive leaves, boy, just a lot of fat. It's a lot of fat in there. A News Lord is back in the name of Steve from Minecraft. Well, can you keep me from swerving while I'm trying to drink my beer? Grab the wheel. I'm trying to just drink my beer over here. Ronan Point, are you getting the wireless upgrade? Says Noah Craw. How much is it? I hadn't even considered it. Honestly, I don't find the cables to be that big of a deal with the Vive. When I first got it, in my mind, I was like, yeah, let's figure out a way where I can route the cables from the ceiling and then it'll pull a little bit, but it'll be off the floor. I don't even find that they're that big of an issue, and especially since I'm chronic fatigue sufferer and can't be on my feet that long, that kind of thing. I don't do running around that much. I haven't gotten caught in my cables. You know, there's enough cable here for the space that I'm in that I don't get stuck under it. I just walk over the top of it. And yeah, it gets curled around, and then once every couple of Vive sessions, you just grab the cable and pull the helmet up, and it spins it free, and you're set again for a while. It's not been a big issue for me. I guess it would be nicer. I find when I'm in the headset, I forget about the cables, you know? I'm just enough aware of them to, you know, not get myself screwed over. I just haven't run into the problem. I wonder if this simulator has Albert Lee in it. We are pretty much... Oh, trailer park! Trailer park! This is where I grew up. All of my young years were in trailer parks. Of course, it didn't look as crap as that. We had a pretty nice one. We had a pretty nice one. I wonder if the simulator has Albert Lee in it. We are pretty much the last major stop on I-90 before heading into the Badlands of South Dakota, and I-35 intersects I-90 here. Probably not. Really? It would be my assumption. Well, anybody want a used car? You can buy a wood-paneled Vox. Look at where you're going! It's fine. I'm better when I drink. Whoa! 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 I didn't have to dodge him. That's awesome! That is awesome! They got tumbleweeds! Tumbleweeds across the road! In the Desert of America's Truck Simulator! This is so good! This is so good. This is better than Euro Truck. I'm just saying it. I'm just saying it. I mean, obviously it should be. They made Euro Truck first, and then this was, we already have the mechanics. How much can we put into detail and subtle touches and stuff like that? This is good. This is really good. I mean, I've played it before. This is my first time playing the damn thing. But damn, I haven't seen this much of it. Hello, you large, lonesome lesbian landlubber, laundry lovers, I'm back. Hello, where did you go, GP Switch? I didn't... I knew you I missed you all the while. Well, you were gone. Can I just drive off into the desert, by the way? Could I just go right off the road and just... Are there invisible walls, or could I just... Because that looked like a good flat spot that I could have done it right there. I don't want to screw up my new truck. I just bought this truck. First thing I did was fender bender with a guy because he stopped short at a light. I need to get under 70 in case a cop comes along, okay? I don't need any tickets after I've already bumped into a dude on this trip. Cruise control is on. I was gone for all of 3.5 minutes, and my heart just be stilled my heart. Those 3.5 minutes. I really did. I missed you. So I said I wanted to talk more about Jim and Sarah. I forget where I left off in Jim's story. I think I was talking about Jim. Holy crap! Look at the plants and stuff. So Jim has defeated, you know, the evil bastards that are chasing he and Sarah down before, but that was before he decided to go back in for Sarah. And one of the reasons I didn't mention that he decided to put himself back into the time loop in order to save Sarah has to do with the fact that, like, once he finally got out of it, and he wasn't, like, constantly in threat of dying every day and then being teleported back to where he started and having to kill more guys and stuff like that, you know, there's a sense of that there's a relief, but there's also, like, PTSD. There's also, like, you get used to war, you know? And so, and his mind was just frayed to crap, after everything that he just put himself through. I mean, he was a normal guy. He didn't receive training. He wasn't being supported by a unit in the army. There wasn't a bunch of people around him also going through what he was going through. It was just him, on the streets of a regular city, having to learn how to be John Wick, basically, in order to survive, and getting killed and experiencing whatever pain I decide to paint onto that, you know, experience for him, or something. Seagate just announced a new hard drive technology that allows the arms of the drive independently move and read the platters separately, allowing up to 4 times the speed of regular hard drives. That's insane. I'm turning left here, which is why I keep slowing down. I'm trying to read that, though. New hard drive technology, arms of the drive move independently. And what? Arms of the drive independently move and read the platters separately. Like separate arms for read and write, and they move separately, and I don't, I'm not sure exactly how the internals of a hard drive are laid out. I've had them open before. I only remember there being, you know, the one arm, and then you've got all of the arms are coming off the same translation axis. That's what you're saying, because the multiple platters. So you're saying each one of the arms can move. Ah, I see what you're saying. And that increases the potential access speeds up to 4 times. That's pretty friggin' cool, so long as it's, you know, cheaper than an SSD. If that becomes the new, like, standard, then that would be great, because SSDs are kind of, you know, not artificially necessarily, but I do want to say kind of artificially expensive because of what they can do that's better than regular hard drives. And they don't have the moving parts and all that kind of stuff, but that would be great for driving down the cost and just moving us into a new era of hard drives. Because I've got, since I built Charlotte to do the live streaming for me, hey! Okay, never use that horn again. Since I built Charlotte, the main problem with that system, okay, I know I'm tired. The main problem with that system is hard drive access. It's a slow drive, there's no SSD on it, and, well, with this system, the system that we're live streaming off of right now, when she starts up, when she's doing like an update from Windows or something like that, hard drive pegs out at 100%, and then I just can't use it for much. I asked a female friend of mine this once. Why? Drive one. Why the hell do you like men? Anyway, you weirdo. Be normal like the rest of us. And then she actually turned out to be gay later on. So after all she came out, I made her apologize to me for being straight. Locking up the brakes! Can I sleep here? Because I'm tired. Could I pull in for a... It looks like I can pull in for... I should have followed him through. I don't need gasoline. I got half a tank here. But I do need to have myself a sleep. Whoa, look out! Okay, just push past it. Come on, that's not my truck, it's their cargo container. Who gives a shit? Pull past, you almost got it. Just rough it. Rough it through. There you go. No, there you don't go. Come on now. I'm trying to avoid the pole as I... Why am I stuck? What am I stuck on? You know, everything you just ran into. Oh, yeah, that. Okay, yeah, no, I got it. I got it. Excuse me. Pardon me. It was a little bit short. Wow, I love the freaking visuals and the camera in this. Okay, just pull up onto the sidewalk here. Knock over the hot dog sign. There you go. Did I clear it? I cleared it. Now swing her back in to miss the pole, and then we're good. And I need to pull in and have myself a sleepy sleep. Which I guess is going to be, you would pull past and then come in over here. I'm not a trucker, I don't know. Ooh, scales. I don't need that. I just need a place to have a bit of a nap. I've got a place to sleep in this truck, don't I? Press the following to stop the engine. Yeah, well, wait for me to actually pull in. Oh, cool. They got, like, the things where there's a woman who comes out and gives you blowjobs here, I think is how that works. E for the engine, press enter to rest. There we go. I enjoy when my arms move independently. It's rather annoying when they synchronize when dining. Makes it really hard to drive and drink. Drinking and driving I find fun. It's actually better. But drive and drink, yeah, that's difficult. So, I'm assuming that this is going to loop around, because you wouldn't have your truckers at a truck stop having to, like, back it out. Am I steering in the wrong direction? You may be. So, if I pull it back, and then I go around in a loop. Are my lights on? Now they are. Pull forward. Pawn, you haven't murdered any hookers yet. Well, it's early, okay? I just left Reno. That's where I do all my hooker murdering. We're going to Tucson? Phoenix? I think we're going to Arizona anyway. You know, it's they got hookers there. Just it's more illegal, which I'm not a fan of. And we're clear to get through here. All right, back out onto the highway, boys. Listen, we're on our way to Tucson or Phoenix or someplace else that's in Arizona. If that's, or we might be going to Nevada. I don't know. They told me to follow the GPS and I did. Just go! We do not do this in America. You don't come to the end and stop. Maybe trucks do. Maybe trucks sometimes have to. Now go! Okay? Or else I'm just gonna push you out. Yeah. Go! No, faster. Faster. I've got the cheapest truck that you can buy in the game and I'm overtaking you. Come on now. Well, he's got a bigger load. My load is huge. They've all said so. After I asked them, like, really desperately, how big is it? Is it okay? Is it a good size? Were you satisfied? And they were like, it was huge. It was huge. I've never had it so big. But that said, would you mind putting this over it next time? Just to thicken it out a little bit. Pawn, where are you coming up with this? I don't know. We used to be a clean channel, didn't we? Didn't we once upon a time? And then the world changed. Trump got elected and everything went to shit. Okay, Ronan, what time is the huge car wreck? We're getting there. And we're going to end on it. We're going to do it as a closer. Honk. Oh, Jesus God, I was honking for you and I nearly slammed into his... Don't make me honk my little wee baby horn. So yeah, Jim and Sarah. Right, Jim and Sarah. So Jim went back into the loop in order to save Sarah. Not because she was anyone in particular to him. He wasn't in love with her. He stole something from this woman, but he knew that she died on that day. He's gone a little shit crazy. And also, he knows that he can do this now. And, you know, maybe it's like a couple of months down the road after he gets out of the loop, and he's just like, he doesn't feel right in society, doesn't fit in anymore. It's kind of like jonesing for a little bit of that action again that he's not getting now that he's, like, won. You know? So he decides, I'm going to go back in there, I'm going to save her, and then I'll start over. Shoot, maybe I'll do this every couple of years, you know, just to, like, spicing up my life. And also I'll never die because I can constantly, you know, go back in time and I can live longer and I can try a bunch of different things. I'll save her and then I'll go have one kind of life and I'll do, you know, whatever his justifications are, they make sense to me for a man who's been through what he's been through. For a man who's lived in a battlefield and had to train himself to be a warrior and, you know, defeat the evil, whoever they are, that came after the stuff, the technology, and tried to kill everyone. And did many thousands, hundreds of times at least, before he figured out what he needed to do in order to beat them. So that makes sense to me with Jim. And then how does that relate to Sarah, Mr. Ronan Pawn? I don't know. I'm getting off in the... We're going to Vegas! Is that where we're going? That's not where I was delivering this stuff, was it? Sure, what are you talking about, says Gohan0646. Oh. Well, if you missed the beginning of the live stream, you're going to want to catch this VOD back, because I read a thing that I wrote. Use your turn signal just in case there's a cop around. I read a story that I started writing today at like 6:30 a.m. and it was actually late to the live stream because I was still working on it, and then looked up and went, 5 minutes to the live stream. So many hours went into it, and this is the premise, is there's a guy and there's a time device, and he was stuck in a loop, a temporal loop, where every time he died, he'd go back, and there were people trying to kill him, and so this is all backstory for the story that I'm writing, which is about him and Sarah on a day that is of particular interest. You know, the thing that sticks with me from Ben Croshaw, Yahtzee on YouTube, of Zero Punctuation fame, he's a writer, and I've read his 3 books. 3 books? Yeah, 3 books. And, brilliant, for Mogworld. Jam? Eh. You know, it was the book that follows up the incredibly, like, really good book, where it's like, can I do that again? And usually you can't. And then, Will Save Galaxy for Food, or something like that. That was good again. That was really good. Jam was just a little bit scatterbrained. I couldn't even follow some of, like, what he was describing in the book. Maybe it was me, but it was not on par with Mogworld, whereas, the 3rd book, got back to, you know, some really good stuff. It wasn't a... Like, Mogworld is a book that I have read probably 6 times now for the sheer freaking entertainment of it over and over and over again. I might go back and read Will Save Galaxy for Food. In fact, I did start rereading it, I think. But probably not as often as Mogworld. It's a good book. It's a good book. I highly recommend Mogworld by Yahtzee. But one of the things that he, and the other one that I mentioned, one of the things that he always said is, as a writer, you know, the question that you need to be asking yourself is, whatever you're writing, whatever story you're telling, is this the best Is this the most interesting thing that's ever happened to these characters? And if not, why are you not writing that story? So, in that vein, there's so much interesting backstory to these characters, but I like this idea of coming into it in the middle, coming into it... I use my parking brake a lot to stop. Coming into it in the middle of this thing, because something in particular extra double special has happened, and that's why in the story that I read to you earlier, Jim starts out, you know, saying to Sarah, I think I fucked up. I fucked up. Bad. And that is that in this world where he has been dominating as the, you know, the guy, well, he eventually dominated because, you know, he had the benefit of foreknowledge of everything that was ever going to happen and where all the enemies were going to be and all that kind of thing. Something not good has happened for Jim, and that's that it would appear that someone else had one of these devices on them, and he killed them. And the way that he knows that is that they weren't where they were last time, the first time. Like, they killed him the next time, and they were in a different position. And he was like, I just did everything the same, the way that I usually do it, in order to get to this point in this loop, in this iteration. But that guy was somewhere else, and he was questioning himself, and he's kind of going crazy anyway, and all that kind of stuff. That's where this is going, is that someone else has one of these devices, or maybe other people have these devices now, but someone else in his timeline had one of these devices, and now that person's out there, and he has to deal with someone else who's in a time loop who can know what's coming next. And that's going to be the fun of telling this particular story out of all the stories that you could tell of Jim and Sarah, and, you know, the past and all that kind of stuff. And I really like it because if I tell this story well and it's good, and it doesn't even have to be that long. I know exactly where this one's going to end, and you might just call that Act 1 for a movie, but I think it would be like first episode of a series or first book. Then you can tell all these other stories, and you can fill in all those little holes and all those little gaps that exist in the backstory already, because it just came to me as I was writing it. I'm like, and that's because that, and this is because of this, and this makes sense because of that. I love having that thick, rich backstory there that I know that I can go back to and tell a whole bunch of stories, and also can go back to and just source for what would they do in this situation, why is this happening, you know, that kind of stuff. Dominated? NAA submissive is way better. What? Oh, nah, submissive is way, way better than being the dominatrix. You think so, RMAJ, do you? You should talk to Latra. Are we nearly there yet? How friggin' far are we? Okay, so we just went through Vegas on our way to wherever the hell it is we're going. We still got a lot of road ahead of us. What's the deal about guys having to take the first step in approaching a woman, though? Yeah, I mean, that's not necessarily the case, but it does tend to, you know, we've still got that in culture, which kind of sucks, you know? Like, do you know how good it feels when a woman says to a man, and this is what's weird about, like, sexual harassment issues, because I personally know, and I have heard many, many other men who have said the same thing, how good it feels when a woman says to you, you're cute, or, God, you got a nice butt. You know, when a woman engages and flirts with you, that kind of thing, it just feels so good, even if you're, you know, not into it or in another relationship or something like that. It just feels so nice to have somebody, like, come at you like that with sexual overtone of, you know, hey, stranger. It feels good to be, like, recognized as a sexual being, for a man anyway. That's what's weird about the whole sexual harassment thing, because women have been so regularly objectified as sexual objects and just trying to be respected as human beings, that... And then at the same time, I know that, because there's that big a difference from a man and a woman, I know it feels good as a woman, too, for somebody to say, damn, you got a nice ass, even if you're like, shut up, pig, and then you walk away going, yeah, I do have a nice ass. I know what all that's about, and it makes the whole, you know, sexual harassment thing a little bit tricky, because, you know, Anybody likes to be told they got a nice ass. Anybody likes to be told, hey, hey, buddy. You know, walking down the street and somebody whistles at you, something like that. It's like if there's 3 sweat hog pig guys that are doing construction work and they're like, hey, baby, then it feels more like you're being ganged up on rather than complimented. But if you get like a direct compliment from someone, everybody likes that. Even if it's, you know, damn, you have the best looking rack. You know, that's like maybe over the top, and that's like, hey, up here. But at the same time, you know when she walks away, she's gonna be like, yeah, the girls are doing good, you know? Because she's wearing a push-up bra for a reason. She wants them out there. What are you talking about, Fawn? I don't know! Get into American Truck Simulator, we just start driving, and I just start talking. I run out of things to tell you about Jim and Sarah. Just start talking about, you know, feeling good when somebody tells you got nice, you know, ooh, that's a nice looking penis you got there. Which, you know, if you just hang it out, like I do, just walk around with it hanging out, occasionally somebody's gonna say it. Usually it tends to be old men for some reason. I don't get what that's about, but, whatever. I'm bad with people I don't care about, but when I'm attracted to someone, I'm pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. When you're with a person who, you know, makes you the better version of yourself, it's a trite movie trope, and it's also true, isn't it? You know, it makes you the best version of yourself, and you don't have to try, is the thing. That's what it is about it. That's part of why it, you know, hits you so hard when you're with somebody that works like that, and then you lose them or something. I can bypass the way station. Good, thank God. Ladies, don't put your clothes on. We're still good. When you lose them, or, you know, they're not as interested in you as you are in them or something like that, the thing is not just the loss of them, it's the loss of you when you're around them. Because life gets easier and you don't have to try so hard, and you're a better person without putting on a show, without pretending. You're not trying, you're just around them, and it just feels natural to be whoever it is. Okay, lock up all the brakes. Here we go. All them Jake brakes. Damn, they just slammed on. Okay, well, it's a construction zone or an accident coming. It's got to be a construction zone. They don't put this out for accidents. I never found anything like that, and I don't think I will. Speeding violation? I'm following traffic. I'm doing 27 in a 25. That's not a... Okay, maybe I was doing 28 or something. Still, you don't charge for more than 5 over, and they're all ahead of me. How did they get there? And did you just ticket everybody? Damn it. More money out the window. I'm only making 33 friggin' grand from this haul. This is a good game. I like this. We gotta do more American Truck Simulator regularly, because, you know, I like a game where I could just go on autopilot and just ramble about nothing in particular. Oh boy, that's my favorite thing. Like, if I could get away with it, I'd just stop playing games altogether, turn this into a radio show. Would you, Pawn? I might. I just might. And then, fucking hell, because then I wouldn't hit anybody. It was close. Eventually I'm gonna get so good that I can do that and just not hit him. I keep trying. Cheer 5. So the big thing in the news today is everyone is hoping Oprah will run in 2020 because of the Golden Globes last night, even though she has not said she would and no one asked her to. What happened at the Golden Globes? Oh, RMAJ said, I've never found anything like that, and I don't think I will. Not that I don't think I want to. I don't think I'll ever find something like that. Someone who makes me feel... Well, you know what? There's the thing. RMAJ, if you don't, not necessarily a bad thing. Okay? You know? You find someone who makes you the better version of you, and then it's, you know, easier and stuff like that. That's all well and good. But there's something to having the strength to be that on your own, or getting over your own self, like, doubt and criticism and all that kind of stuff, and just being you. You know, if life gets easier when you're around someone else, it kind of indicates that there's something wrong with you. Go! Okay, I'll let you down and then you can go. Oh, now he's gonna lock his brake because I blew the horn. He's like, alright, screw you! Alright, I'm getting out. I'm getting out. What are you doing? Let's see. Mostly in public, I'm scared as F, but I go on. It's when I'm with friends and people I know that I start to relax, but never too much, says RMAG. Well, you don't want to relax too much. They might just be, you know, time-traveling murderers trying to kill you, you know? They're your friends until the aliens implant this mind virus. And then they're, you know, just trying to anal probe you. So you got to, which could be fun. I mean, if you're into it, I don't know. But you got to be on your guard a little bit. Oh, we get to go now. Prick. I should have just pushed him out of the way. Been stuck here. I've probably been holding up traffic for a coon's age. Because my rear end was hanging out into traffic. It was a very short left turn lane. I like women who dress like everyone else, who act like everyone else. I think your language is probably messed up there a little bit when you say everyone else. Do you mean men? Like, what are you talking about? Everyone else. Like women who don't dress like women do? What are you talking about? Because I'll tell you what, the women who I'm attracted to, which are few and far between, honestly. We'll, like, see on the street and I'm like, ooh, or, you know, you're out at a bar and you're like, hey, tend to be people who don't dress fancy, you know, wearing jeans and like a big baggy sweatshirt, doesn't show nothing at all. It attracts me. Flashy, you know, lots of skin, it just turns me off. You know, and I could go into like I could try and come up with like reasons for, why are you guys locking up your brakes? Is there a cop passing? I'm locking up my brakes just in case. I come up with intellectual reasons for that, but it doesn't matter. Like, I tend to be attracted to women who dress in a just, you know, comfortable fashion. If I see them being comfortable as opposed to trying to put on a show, that's for me. I also tend to be attracted to women who are some kind of an oddity. I've noticed that about myself. I see a woman who has like really bad posture, you know, like a neck that really goes forward or something like that. Because I've noticed that specifically on that case. There was a woman who had like really bad posture who, you know, she just made me want to like come up from behind and push her spine back into place, but also, you know, I thought she was cute. Women with, I don't know how to describe this, but my first girlfriend had, yeah, I can't describe it without sounding rude, but anyway, you know, people who are an oddity. People who have something odd about them. I like it. I think I like when from across the room you can tell that people are a little bit damaged somehow. You can tell that they've had it harder than most folks. You know, maybe that's what stands out. I just cut a cop off. I just almost merged over on a cop. Okay, I'm just gonna try and hold the speed limit here is what I'm gonna do. Sorry about that, officer. Sorry. I did it again. I was trying to wave hi. My bad. I'm screwing with the cops. I'm running out of fuel. Jesus, this is a long haul. $33,000 is what I'm gonna get out of it, so I can make it. I'm running low on fuel though. So next gas station. Where's the next gas station coming up? Quit screwing with the cops and pay attention to your fuel, Pawn. There he goes. Sorry, officer. That's for you. Go on, cheering 5. I like undercover hotties, a la every 90s teen movie ever. Who knew glasses and ponytail could make someone average? I like genuinely like geeky looking girls. Okay, I don't like it when they take like some teen model and you know, glasses and a ponytail and. Oh my god, she's so nerdy, and then it all comes down and no, genuinely geeky girls. Velma is way more attractive than what's her face, who I didn't even bother to, you know, learn her name. Because Velma, okay, Velma is way more attractive. You know, Willow, not Buffy, Willow. Thank you, 10 times over Willow. Who are the other geeky girls that you had like a crush on? If I get off here, I'm gonna get off here. Getting off because I need gas. There's no gas. Wait, Is that gas? Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I think that's a gas station. Oh, it's not saying so, Pawn. It doesn't say so, but, I mean, what is that? There's some kind of building down there. If I go that way, I should have checked the signs when you get off the freeway. I'm sorry, I'm lost. I need gas. I don't know that there's going to be gas down there. Damn it. I'm going to go forward. I'm just going to get back on the freeway. I'm going to keep my eyes open. Jesus, I didn't think I needed that. We had half a tank a minute ago. GP Switch saying, not like 100% gay, she was 90% gay, but done with guys. Oh, okay. From what you said. I like genuine gamer girls, not these Candy Crush gamers. right. I also actually do find myself attracted to lesbians on a regular basis. And not like I look across the room and go, oh, she's gay, I want her. But I find that, like, the few girls that I do approach in my life, the few women that I'll walk up to in a bar, that I'll, you know, I went over to a friend's house, and he's got a friend from work, or a cousin, actually, I think. She's like a cousin, I don't know, but she was there, and I was there, and I was, like, immediately like, oh, hi. And again, she's, you know, dressing comfortably, and just talking casually and not putting on a show and not trying to do a dog and pony thing, and also she's just, you know, brown hair, and I don't know, she's just my type. She's absolutely my type, and of course she's a lesbian. Go out to the bar. The last time that I like went up to a woman at the bar and was like, hey, how you doing? I'd like to flirt with you now, would you mind? Just turns out, you know, her girlfriend comes over, puts her hand on her knee, and actually, what her girlfriend did, and this is absolutely true, I wouldn't make this up. There's a gas station. At this exit, I can get to a gas station. Get out of my way. 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 I'm coming over. Coming over. Okay, I get off and then I go back there. Her girlfriend, while I, like, sit down next to her girlfriend was somewhere else, she comes back over. And she's, like, walking to the bathroom, and she sees me flirting with her girlfriend. And so she comes over and she walks past, and her girlfriend's facing me, and I'm facing that way. So over her girlfriend's shoulder, she does this. I'm like, okay, I know what you're telling me there. But I stay there and keep talking to her because she's cute, and, you know, hell, I seem to be attracted to lesbians on a regular basis. Maybe I'll get, you know, fortunate someday and convince one to just give it a go again. Or all any lesbian really needs is a good deep dickin'. Quote, Kevin Smith, anyway, wrote that line in whatever that movie was. This is a place to sleep. I swear I saw, there is a gas station. It's just around there. Okay, go around the loop, Pawn, and there's a gas station. I'm being intentionally insensitive, for the sake of comedy there. Thank you very much. Don't quote me, boy. I ain't said shit. Just stop and get some gas. And then, yeah, I stayed there talking to her, so when she came back from the bathroom, she, like, walks over and puts her hand on her thigh just to make sure that she's nailing home the point. I don't know. Everyone, I got really good gaydar. The problem is that, you know, if I'm attracted to you, you're probably gay. So, just, you know. Lesbians need hot girlfriends, too. I think they're called lipstick lesbians. Is RMAJ. That didn't take long to fill at all. I'm barely buzzed now before I get back out on the road. This sucks. So that cost me $383. I have spent something like $1,500 to $2,000, I think, on traffic fines on this. So we're gonna make $29K probably off of the $33,000 that I was gonna make by the time I get there. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's not, you know, certainly not anything visual. It's personality, it's energy. You know, I definitely, you know, I don't believe in, I know about energy. And that's kind of what's made me a not very often romantically involved person. Because I been as open as I feel I really should have been to casual relationships, you know? To relationships where it's like, you're here, I'm here, we like some of the same stuff. Let's have some fun, you know? I've spent far too much of my life either waiting for or just, well, waiting for someone with whom I have, you know, that instant connection that I've had several times in my life, where somebody walks in the room and you look over at them and it's just boom, it's there. And it's not because, oh my god, girl so fly. It's because you're both vibrating on the same frequency, and you know that immediately. And it's like, this is someone who I need to be involved, you know, this is someone who needs to get into my life, please. And I've spent far too much time, you know, in my, you know, previous years looking for and waiting for that kind of a scenario, and then in these years just being like, if it doesn't come along, if that doesn't come along, then why complicate matters? And I actually do recommend to anyone, you know, have yourself some casual relationships. Just, you know, it's hard to do, is the thing. I think that's why I haven't done it, is because, another reason I haven't done it is because it's hard to do, to have casual relationships, because you gotta make sure that everybody's on the same wavelength. Which doesn't mean that this isn't going to go anywhere and this can't become anything over time, and it's never gonna be anything more than, you know, whatever it is on day one. It absolutely can be, you know. The people who you fall in love with most and hardest are the people who've been in your life the longest and become something. You know, they didn't start out that way. They were friends, or maybe they were lovers to start with, but they became more than a lover over the course of time. You realized, you know, you grow a love for people. Those relationships are, you know, happen and stuff like that, and so you shouldn't rule them out. But at the same time, you know, it's so hard to have like a casual relationship that could go somewhere, but I'm not, you know, it's just casual at this point. And be honest about it, and have that conversation, and not be dismissive, and not like limit the future possibilities when you have that conversation. Because you say to a certain woman that, you know, I just want to be clear here, you know, for me, this is, I like you, you know, I like having you as a friend, I really like doing what we do, but I don't want you, like, getting overly committed to me or passing up someone else because of me, because, you know, I'm just, this is not a relationship that I feel is, you know, commit to. If you find someone better, if I find somebody better, you know, if something comes along, that's just really hard words to frame and to have that conversation. But adults should be able to have that conversation. You know, not everything has to be forever. The problem is, even if you find someone who you can have that conversation with, it's very easy for the person on the other end to like, then limit the possibilities of what it could become based on that. And you don't want to do that either. It's really friggin' hard, is what it is. It's really friggin' hard. Oh, crap, I'm supposed to be turning left. I was just swinging her wide. That's intentional. I wasn't in the wrong lane, I was just swinging her wide. Because I've had that before where, you know, I was with a woman, and it was actually, like, really my first honest-to-God girlfriend, and she asked me, you know, one day, what is this? And it was after we'd been together for, like, 5 days or something. We were really connecting, and, you know, sex was great. But she was, you know, what is this? What are we? And, you know, are we boyfriend, girlfriend, that kind of thing? And being my first girlfriend, I was foolishly just was honest with her and said, I like what this is now, which to me meant whatever we're doing, whatever you want to call it, this is good. I enjoy that. You know, this is great. Let's keep doing more of this. But to her meant, you know, I was saying, you know, there's a limit to this relationship. That's how she took that when I said, I like this. She meant, oh, okay, well then I guess this isn't going anywhere. And she was still like adult, she was still cool with it. She's like, okay, well I guess that's what it is. She didn't say this to me, but I know now, looking back, and you know, I know where she was coming from, because of how things went. And she did tell me later, oh crap, watch out, watch out, watch out. Can I squeeze it? Squeezed! Squeezed. She drew a line in the sand with me from then on. Like, this is fun, this is good, you know, I like him, he likes me. whatever, but it was never going to be anything more than that for her from that day on because of what I said. She literally told me that later in her life. In our relationship together, was like, I drew a line at that point and said, yeah, that's okay. If that's what this is, then what? It's just you're a little bit up on some concrete. I intentionally put you here. Don't go crazy. Is this wet concrete? Why am I stuck in this? If you cannot start moving, maybe differential lock could help you. Hit V. That was B. Hit V. Okay. Yeah, we were on different... Alright, well, I do want to take that route then. That's a new thing. Cool. And they told me about it. I got into a situation where it was happening, and then they told me, well, maybe this is going to help you. This is what you need. American Truck Simulator, all the friggin' polish. What the actual F Windows, you actual S, what's wrong with you today? How is it that I talk about, like, romance, love, and complicated human issues, and you guys over there are like, Internet Explorer is good, but I like Chrome. What is going on? These are the secrets to happiness in life, people. I'm telling you the joys of the universe. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do... How am I supposed to even? How do you even into there? I can't... Okay, pull it. Just... Yeah. Go in this direction. This is like... I am jackknifing this friggin' thing is what I'm doing right now. Where are you? I'm going to pull it through like this. And I'm going to just right up to this... And don't hit it, because you've already hit enough things on this in this route. Can I see you? This is good that I have a window in the back. I'm not going to be able to get this to do a thing. Damn it. I wanted to talk about women more, but Windows effed up. This effing F, this F up, F you, effing. Sure, me too. This is as hard as trying to tell a woman, you know, that you like her, but you're not in instantaneous love with her, but that doesn't mean that she should write you off forever because you might fall in love with her just like she might fall in love with you, or if she's already in love with you, just because I'm not in love with you now, let's just do what we're doing, honey. It's almost that difficult. I can't believe I managed to, like, get this in. Look at me! Look at me, I found a way! It's funny because all the relationships have ended badly, and I've mostly been the one being broken up with and used, but never for sex and not in a good dom to subway. Jeez, you're really into that, RMAJ. We've got a sub in chat. Seeking Dom, sub seeks Dom, sub M seeks Dom F. And I'm pretty sure if Latra hadn't gone to sleep, then we would have Dom F seeks sub M. So where do you guys live? We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make someone's dreams come true with whips, Cat of Nine Tails. I can't believe I managed to get this in. Who made that a quote? No, right. No, that's the bots down. You can't put that in. We are all subs on this blessed day. By the way, subtrain. Subtrain right now. Let's get a subtrain going. What does he mean by that? I don't know, but I'm trying to imagine what the other one would be right now. Oh, a Dom. Yeah. Let's do a subtrain. I'll play Dom. Right, Den, just subscribe! Subtrain! Subtrain! Come here, I'm gonna beat you. Get back in your box. Put this ball in your mouth. Subtrain! Choo-choo! And... I got it! I didn't line it up perfectly, but I got it now. I'll pull it back out, and then I'll just line it up and stick her back in straight. And you can quote me on that. Here's some Ronan Pollins in chat for the subtrain. I like where this is going, says GPS Twitch. I just need to get it in the slot there. Just gotta, and, you know, I just gotta back it in is the thing. Just gotta back it up until it's in the hole. Right in there. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, swing it back, swing it back, swing it back, swing it back. No, that hurts, that hurts. Oh, banana ice cream. Oh, safe word. I missed. I jammed. I got it in a wrong angle, and I rubbed right up against the wall. Okay, almost though. Almost. Nearly got her. Back like this, and then from here, take her back. Take her back just a little bit this way to kick it out. Yeah, in fact, hard this way early because you're not going to be able to turn once you get past that wall. Now, hard back the other direction. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Now push it in. Push it in. Yeah. Oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Yeah, baby. T, drop that sucker. We did it. Oh, sweet release of orgasm. And it's excellent. I didn't damage the property at all. I damaged my own truck. Level 7, my first, all the way up to level 8. My first haul as a truck owner. And I made enough money minus the tickets. If I hadn't gotten tickets, I think I made enough money to like immediately pay off my loan on that. And I get to sign up for another thing. More fragile cargo? Or more long distance? I think this is about as long distance as you want to be able to drive, Paul. More long distance for me! Yeah, you know length is what's important. To a Ronin pawn. To a Ronin pawn it is. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have come to the end of the live stream. I did all of the things that I needed to do. And then some of them that I probably shouldn't have done and are going to get me in trouble in several of the states that we drove through on the way here. What happens in NSFW stays in NSFW. That's right, we just came from Reno through Vegas to wherever it was that I landed there. And those are the rules in all of those places. Also, in my basement. Those are the rules. Pull on KSP next time. This is JS. JP Stretch. I don't know. Kerbal's been being a bitch lately. I gotta come up with, like, missions that I want to do. And I know what I want to do in the new year. I've got a list. I have to go back to my list and just, you know, think it out. I want to do tourism. I want to do some stuff. I just don't want it to be such a mess before I get started on something cool and new. You know, I kind of want to clean it up. I don't want things to be as broken as they are on Minmus. But it's been being a bitch lately. I don't know. Anyway, I am the Ronin Pawn. Stage 9 next time. If I can do VR... everyone here would kill me if I didn't do Minecraft. If I have the energy in me to do VR, I will take a look at Stage 9 at some point in future. Just don't rush me. Just keep asking me like 3 to 9 times per live stream like you've been doing, and we'll get around to it. Gotta go, says Pony. So do I. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks for sticking around on the road trip. I hope you liked my story that I told. And I hope that I keep writing it, because I don't usually follow up on things that I get started. But it's a really good story. There's a lot to be told there, and a lot of fun interactions. I'm having trouble writing Sarah, though. Yeah, I haven't put enough, I don't have enough experience trying to write for a woman. And there's a woman in here, trust me. But it's a different thing to try and write from her perspective, you know? Try and write what she would say, than to be her. So I think I'm going to borrow from some old girlfriends, their personalities and the kind of things they do, and then mix my feminine energy into there and see what I can come up with. But yeah, it's going to help that she's a badass Blackwater. The reason why I made her that way, the reason why I wanted her to be a badass, was just to avoid the whole damsel in distress thing, which is why I start the whole thing out by saying she is in distress, but she is no damsel. Because I don't like that. I don't like stories with like that. Like, they're making a Mario movie, is the last I heard, and probably a Zelda movie as well. And whichever one they make, you know, one of them will get made, the other one might get made. If they make both of them, even if they make both of them, like, here's the thing. A Zelda movie has to end with the crushing realization that Link is not the hero of fabled lore. You know, it's got to be like, because Zelda is the hero of like the modern games and stuff. Even you know, you get into a fight with Ganon in any of the Link things when you get to the end. It's been a while now that most of these things end where you and Zelda are fighting Ganon together. And it's truly Zelda's power that defeats Ganon. And I think that you should go right over the top with that if you tell a Zelda story and make it so that throughout the entire story there's this whole, oh, you're the fabled child and you're going to lead Hyrule to blah, 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 blah. And at first he doesn't believe it, and then he starts to suspect it, and then he believes it, and then he's embarrassed about it and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, all that is just a setup and a mislead to reveal that you're not the hero. You're just a hanger-on. You are the guy who, you know, happened to, like, push forward the story enough so that Zelda could come in and do what she does. Because she's the real hero of that story. You're just the peon dude who helps to, you know, antagonize the situation enough that the two gods go to war. And the gods are Zelda and Ganon. Incidentally, same thing, I would do exactly the same thing with Mario. Princess Peach, you know, your princess is in another castle. That would be the line at the end of the movie. You would not do that joke at any time throughout the movie, and people who are sitting there knowing Mario lore know you're going to do that joke at some point. Your princess is in another castle, and when you do that joke is right at the end, when Mario finally shows up to the place where Princess Peach has been captured by Bowser, and it's the final battle, and, like, Bowser throws the door open, and, you know, Peach is supposed to be, like, tied up in a room behind him, or, you know, it's just chained to a wall, or whatever. She's supposed to be in there, and he's, you know, Bowser's gloating, like, I've got your princess, what are you gonna do? And he throws the door open, she's not in there. And throughout the story, you'd put in little, like, hints and stuff where she's, like, she's basically getting herself out of the bind. Mario was basically unnecessary, because Princess Peach gets herself out of the bind, and so he throws that door open, and she's not there, and he turns around and goes, "Where's Peach?" And then at precisely that moment, through a window, through a nearby window, a giant, you know, window, comes down like one of those flying, like, castles, you know, from, it's been done in the Mario world. An entire castle that is on a flying airship kind of thing comes down on an entire, you know, thing, and just surrounded by, her royal guard, her Goombas, or whoever's going to be on her side, whoever she's, you know, the princess of in this particular movie. They're just all over there, and it's just a war. It's a group come to war with Bowser, and it's actually Princess Peach who shouts that line through the door, "Your princess is in another castle! Oh!" And then just all of her paratroopers and stuff just dive bomb and big war with Bowser. And so yeah, I'm very into the role flipping of the usual gender storytelling thing where, you know, woman needs saved by man. I love the idea of instead doing a bunch of stories about men who think that the woman needs to be saved, and then by the time they get there, it turns out, yeah, they already took care of it. And on that note, I am the Ronin Pawn. We will be doing another live stream right back here this Wednesday, 2 days from now at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever it is it daylight time, whatever. It's 4 p.m., whatever era we're into. We'll be back here on Wednesday doing something else as a live stream. Another game, this game, Kerbal. I've got this bondage game about, it's lesbian bondage. I'm not even kidding. And I did buy it. And I think there's a mode where I can turn it so that they're not naked. I haven't played it yet. I should play it alone. And then with you. So I can pay attention. I don't know. We'll see. Hold on.